Right, we should be live, man.
Ah, hi, hello.
Right, let's give it a couple minutes, see if anyone pops in. And
You take off
yeah,
those bits you've got on there, Matt.
I'm about to do that just now. Oh my god.
And before nobody turns up and we're just speaking to ourselves, Matt.
That's fine, mate, because we can put it on, I can put it on, YouTube.
Ah, of course.
So, besides the actual top 20, I had EPs, special mentions, and a section I called close to making it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just gonna put them in underneath the top 20 just now. So EPs, special mentions. And close to making it. How many albums did you have before, like when shortlisted, like written down to make your top 20 list?
Oh, dude, I had so many.
Yeah, I
I
think I
don't even
had.
know how many, but I took most of them out.
I literally think I had 50. I could have done a top 50.
I've got like five. I've got five ones that I was gonna speak about that I didn't put in it or shout out.
Yeah,
Then I've got five EPs and I've got two special mentions.
nice.
So
Right, well, you want to start with the EPs or start with the? I mean, EPs or special mentions, I guess, probably best place to start.
uh, yeah, you could do special mentions first, I guess.
All right, sound.
Do you want to take it away, or shall I? Or
You can start, man.
okay.
Or well, maybe we
Um,
should prefix the whole sort of list with what sort of genres and musics that we're like into,
yeah, I could
because
share it actually.
folk could be. Well, I mean, I have titled the stream with like the genres I think are going to be in the list, in
I,
case some like
yeah,
mad classical boy turns up and is like, "Fits us hardcore." So
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
that's
should do that.
hardcore.
Well, I mean, I like niche music, I guess you could say. Whether it be metal, hardcore, hip hop, punk, um, tech metal. You want to go into the more kind of mathy route and post rock. I like that kind of stuff as well.
All the
So yeah,
genres.
my I hope my list is quite an extensive one and has a good mix of bands in it. And yeah, that's about it. What about you?
Um, yeah, used to be more like mainstream metal when I was younger. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
more niche, kind of, you know, like Arctangent lineup, niche kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But still listen to kind of everything on the alternative spectrum. Soon as you go from like up like the pop music and then add guitars and then just get heavier and heavier and weirder, like I'm into that basically.
Yeah.
So I've written on the title metal, hardcore, hip hop, alternative, etc. Uh, because yeah, there might be more.
Oh, there is
Um,
more. Don't you
there
worry.
more genres than that.
Oh yeah.
Soundo. Well, yeah. If you kick off with ones that almost made it, like, but like maybe give me like two or three like that were very close to making it, and I'll actually add them into the the list.
Ah, well, I was actually going to start off with my special Oh no, are we just going to go for?
Oh no, no, yeah, sorry. Special
Are we doing
mentions.
special? Are we doing special mentions first? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I'll start off with the only live show I saw this year. Hey, what a year it's been for live shows, eh?
Fuck. R.I.P.
Um,
R.I.P. the live shows, mate.
I saw Decapitated in Glasgow. Ivory Blacks.
Oh, was that this
Was it
year?
Ivory Blacks? Or was it the Classic Grand? I didn't know what venue it was. Anyway, it was awesome. Um, I just wanted to throw that in there. It was the only gig I went to this year, and yeah, it was a really good one. That was just I think it was like literally like 2 or 3 days before we went to lockdown because I know the rest of the tour got cancelled. So
That was
yeah,
that was this year.
yeah, that was in March.
Damn.
It was literally like 2 or 3 days before we went to lockdown, man.
Why is that feels like so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Decapitated live show. Oh, why I? A wild fucking Evgeny has joined the chat, mate.
Oh, aye, cheeky, cheeky.
Um, so Decapitated live show.
So yeah, just death metal in your face, Polish death metal. I mean, what more can you ask for? It was really good.
You got that with Michael. Went that with Michael.
Yeah,
I
I
swear
was
I
able
was gonna go to that show, but something came up.
I
Can't
don't know, mate. You didn't seem keen for it. I can't mind.
Nah, I would
Can't
have
remember
been.
what your reason was.
I would have been keen. I think.
I think you were wanting to get tickets for other stuff.
Mm, maybe. I don't
Genuinely can't remember.
know. Any other special mentions, mate?
Yeah, I do actually. Um, Spelunky 2 soundtrack.
Why? I still have
Uh,
not played that game.
We are on Twitch right now. I'm sure if anybody is watching, chances are you probably played Spelunky 2, unless you're Glenn.
I
Um,
is it? But it's
what
super
a
hard.
soundtrack. Honestly, what a soundtrack. Yeah, it's quite difficult. Like, it's a roguelike platformer kind of deal. So think kind of like Isaac, think random levels, think just utter bullshit killing you all the time. But the soundtrack is I don't know. It's just it's gorgeous. It's got like tribal drum beats all over it.
Whoa.
Odd rhythmic patterns. Really like adds to the game's atmosphere and the level design, in my opinion. And the final area music, or the final area of the game's music is mesmerizing, mate. Highly recommend you try and beat the game to hear that because it's something quite special.
But it's like rogue light, no? You die, sort of thing.
Oh, you die, you die. Yeah.
So like to hear the best music, you have to be like a badass at the
You're
game.
gonna be playing the game for like one run's gonna take you like an hour and a half to get to the stoked music, mate. So good luck getting there.
Damn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, really, really, really good soundtrack and excellent game.
can you
I would
listen to the soundtrack like without playing the game? Have they got it anywhere?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's on Steam. You can usually buy soundtracks in there. If not, it'll be somewhere. Just Google it. It's probably on
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah. Sound?
But yeah, that was my two special mentions.
Hype.
Um,
So if I'm going to talk about my special mentions, um, well, kicking things off with another video game was the you might have seen. Oh wait, well maybe you didn't see, or maybe you did. Maybe I had it in the Twitch live stream, but no one was here. So Doom Eternal, the OST for Doom Eternal,
mhm.
insane. Still haven't played Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, but I've listened to the soundtracks like heaps. But this Doom Eternal soundtrack's like marred in controversy, cause well, have you heard the controversy?
I've not heard the new Doom soundtrack, and I've not heard the controversy. No, I'm not. Don't know anything about it, man.
Right. So the controversy basically is the guy who did the first game, Mick Gordon.
Yeah.
He did like I'm pretty sure he did everything right on the first game. So he did the producing, he came up with all the tunes, all the guitar work, mixed and mastered, and it was his baby, and people
Yeah.
like universally loved that shit.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
like
That is that's a good soundtrack.
like just with the the whole djenty and like the proper like just mad heaviness and yeah. Oh, why while John Campbell has joined. So anyway, yeah, the like just really heavy, epic, and then so they brought him back, right? They brought him back for the sequel, which makes sense. Um, but then that's where the controversy starts because apparently he was he wasn't on time for the studio,
Right. Okay.
and they were like stressing the fuck out, and they basically gave him a deadline for the game, and then he didn't meet that deadline, and then they gave him another deadline, and he didn't meet that deadline, and then when he didn't meet that deadline, the some dude from Bethesda basically, um, just took like the rough demos,
Oh, no.
and mixed them himself. So, but he only had to do that for some of the tracks, right? Because it's an entire game's OST. So
Mhm.
some of the tracks were done. So apparently, when you're playing through the game, like fuck yeah, the music's good, and then sometimes you'll get to like a certain point where the tracks like quieter and like it doesn't have as much punchiness all of a sudden, and you're like, what the fuck? Again, I
Mhm.
haven't played the game, so I can't. But that's the like if you go
That's
on YouTube,
interesting.
yeah. So like on YouTube, there's this dude who has just a random YouTuber who has gone balls deep into the game's files, extracted all of the audio, and basically just remixed it himself, because he was so like triggered at like this dude at Bethesda, this other sort of audio dude who fucked it. And I think Mick Gordon and the Bethesda, they soured, and he's not coming back, and
That's a shame.
it's a
That's a
shame.
shame.
It's a shame, yeah.
Because that original, well, the not original, the Doom 2016 soundtrack was phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, and I've not played the new one, but when I play it, I'll have to listen out for that then.
Yeah, it is a shame. I mean, he, but I think he's gonna like from his work already. People know his name, and he did a badass performance at the Video Game Awards with Matt Halpern from Periphery on drums.
Mhm.
And he's been picked up like from other bands like Bring Me the Horizon. He produced Bring one of the Bring Me the Horizon tracks
Ah, okay.
on their EP, because apparently like Oliver Sykes, he like he was blown away by Doom, and he was like playing it like religiously, and he was like, we need to work with this dude. So he's got work out of it, and so he'll, and I'm pretty sure he's already announced like he's still going to do other video game soundtracks and stuff. Um, in my opinion, I think Bethesda should have just been like this is like a main selling point of our game. We should just hold on. But I guess they're a business and they couldn't
Yeah,
delay it.
big AAA money,
Yeah, for
AAA
sure.
companies, they don't want to do that, man.
Sucks.
Delays. Delays
Sucks.
cost money. Ugh.
So yeah, I'll add in the Doom OST. So another special mention for me was actually I guess you can still say local band.
Right?
A band from hailing from Dundee, who I know the guy in the band, Drew. So the name of the band is Catalysis. Catalysis,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And they released an album this year, which was fucking really good. Really, really good, and it's a major step up from like their earlier stuff. And it sounds like it's been really professionally produced. Like it's sick. So Catalysis, and the name of the album is Connection Lost. And it's just really good metal. Like it's super
Yeah.
good metal. Like I know Drew's a guitarist, and he is, well, he lives and dies by Machine Head, um, and so it's just got that Machine Head vibe, like
Yeah.
older Machine Head before they, before. um, but nah, it just sounds like really fucking good, and he, because he used to be in another band, and that's when I knew him, and this band, oh, it's much better.
Have
Well,
you seen Catalyst live?
yeah, I think I've seen them live once, but that was kind of a few years ago now, because they've been
Because
going for quite a while.
we put them on Aberdeen in Tunnels 2 one night with Iron Altar from Edinburgh,
Right.
and it was a really really good show. That was probably my favorite show that we put on, to be honest.
Mhm. Yeah.
Catalyst, both Catalyst and Altered. Oh, sorry, Iron Altar were fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't realize they put an album out, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. It was.
That's missed out on my radio this year.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool, and like the artwork was good, production good, like everything good. I just hope that it gets picked up. Like as soon as we all get to gigging again, like hopefully they can get some gigs under their belt, some support slots, and because they deserve to be heard. It would be like cool if they got like a UK tour going and got
Yeah.
picked up by some sort of mainstream, um, music journal type of thing, and got like a piece done, and just got put a spotlight on them. Like they were cool. Yeah. So that's Catalyst's Connection Lost for fans of Machine Head, big riffs, also kind of a little bit technical as well. Decapitated kind of vibe. Vocals are heavy as hell,
Hmm.
and badass drums as well. So that wraps up my special mentions. I think I only had the two. So yeah, we can move on to EPs, the top EPs of 2020,
Hey.
and we should probably have the whole discussion about what's an EP and what's an album, because it seems to be that wherever you look online, it's like it's, yeah, everyone has their own definition of what's an EP and what's an album. Like there's no like general consensus of what's an EP, what's an album. Some sites are saying like like strict 30 minutes. Like if you release a record and it's below 30 minutes, EP, above album. But then other sites are saying 27 minutes, and then other sites are saying it has to do with the number of your songs as well.
I think it's really down to what the artists want to
Yeah, same.
class it as. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Bring Me the Horizon, they put out two EPs this year.
Yeah.
Or or was it at the end of last year? They put out that electronic one. It was like an hour and a half
Right.
fucking
Yeah.
long EP, and it was just a load of shit. Um,
Mhm.
but then you've got flipping albums that are coming out, and they're like 15 minutes long, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Doesn't make any sense.
yeah, you're right. I mean, it's what it's what the artist says, basically, goes, in my opinion.
But I have cheated. I've cheated in this bit because one of the EPs in inverted brackets I've got is actually classed as an album by the artist, but I've chucked it in because it's really short. So fuck it, I'm breaking the rules.
Okay. Well, you want to start with your EPs then? I mean, I don't have a list for my EPs. I just have like my top EPs. They're not listed. But if you're,
I have listed mine. I've got 5.
well, that's
5
fine.
lists.
Like if you want to go through your top 5 EPs, that's cool.
So I'm just gonna rattle through these because this isn't the meat of the podcast.
Yeah.
But what we got here at number 5, we've got Glorious, the EP called Unashamed. Have you heard of Glorious, Glenn?
Glorious. No, I
Yeah.
have not heard of that.
They're a hardcore band. Surprise, surprise! We're starting the day off with some hardcore.
Oh boy.
It's actually a side project with members from Employed to Serve and renounced in the band.
Oh, sick. Oh, wait. You have told me about this band.
I think I did tell you about this
Yeah.
band at one point. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
haven't got around to listening to it yet, though.
highly recommend it. Songs, big bouncy songs, big guitars, kind of like, I guess the most similar hardcore band I could think of that sounded like is Turnstile. Definitely that kind of vibes. Yeah, just a really great 5-track EP. And
Right.
there's I think there's a Hypo Negative cover as well. It's pretty cool. Good track.
Right. So what's the name of the band again?
It's Glorious.
It's
And
Glorious.
No, it's just Glorious.
Oh,
Glorious.
just Glorious.
Yeah.
Glorious.
And the EP's called Unashamed.
Unashamed. Unashamed. So what's your number 4, man?
My number 4 is by a band called 68. Have you heard of 68? I'm guessing not.
Say again, man. Sorry.
Have you heard the band 68?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 68. They've got like a.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like a rock kind of prog rock.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Like noise punk
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of vibes there. The EP's called Love Is Ain't Dead.
Have they got? They like spell their name like weird. They have like an apostrophe
Yeah,
6
it's
8.
like apostrophe 68. Is the name.
Yeah. What was the name of that one? Sorry.
Love Is Ain't Dead.
Love.
It's got a silly
Love
name. Yeah, I'll put it in
is-
the Twitch chat for you.
Yeah, get it in that Twitch chat, mate. Love is ain't
So
dead.
that's noise punk from Atlanta, Georgia. It's fast. It's very, very heavily distorted guitars. If you want a song to check out from it, Bad Bad Lambo would probably be the one.
All right. Sound.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird little EP, but I've discovered that band this year on the back of that EP, so I was like, I'm chucking that in because they're a great band.
Sound. Well, I remember listening to an album by them, by 68, that
Mhm.
was fucking great, and it was like a few years ago. Let me go back. 68 on Spotify. Let me try and find this album. Forget the name of it. 68. Oh yeah, Two Parts Viper. That was, I guess, that was the last album they did. Two Parts Viper was really good. But I guess this Love Is Ain't Dead is the newest release they've done.
Yeah, and it's good. Highly recommend it.
Bad Bad Lambo. I love
Bad
the
Bad
song
Lambo.
names. The song names are
Bad Bad Lambo.
ace.
Yeah.
Hype. So you're number 3?
Number 3 would be Dead Slow, EP1.
Oh shit! Yes, the one of the guys that used to be in Brace.
So yeah, so I have got literally no idea who this band are. You shared this band to me on Facebook one day, and I fell in love with this EP. It's crushing. It's just heavy in your face hardcore. I think they're based in Birmingham. Am I right in saying?
I'm not sure. I know. Whatchamacallit, Echelon, are involved. So like, this Spencer, Liam Spencer. I'm pretty sure they're involved somehow. Like, do they maybe have them under their wing, under their banner? But
Possibly.
But yeah, Dead, like, is it in the style of Brace? I can't really remember it, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Dead Slow.
It's better than Brace.
Oh, is
Solid
it?
Brace.
You would say better
Yeah.
than Brace?
I would say better than Brace.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I listened to it when it first came out, but I haven't gone back to it. But I remember it being like, yeah, that sound.
Yeah, it's really good. If you like bands like Every Time I Die, that kind of vibes, you'll probably like this.
Sound. Right. Your second EP.
Ah, yeah. So this is my cheaty one.
All right. Okay.
So this one is actually an album, or the artist's class as an album. But I've chucked it in here because it's only about 17 minutes long.
Right.
Um, and it's a side project, so I just feel as though I don't. It probably wouldn't have made the cut if I was putting in my top albums. Put it that way. So
Right. Okay.
chucked it in here instead. It's by Mrs. Piss. The album's called Self Surgery. Have you heard of
Mrs.
Mrs. Piss, Glenn?
I have never heard of Mrs. Piss.
So Mrs. Piss is a collab project between Chelsea Wolfe and Jess Gowdy. Do you know
Okay.
Chelsea Wolfe?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they call it metal, but it's not really metal. uh,
Yeah, I guess it's like singer, songwriter,
yeah.
big songs. Like she sometimes has like guitars, but like doomy guitar stuff going on in her music as well.
Yeah.
Um, but this is like markedly different from her solo project stuff.
Okay.
It's like it's really punky. It's like in your face punk, man.
Right. Okay.
Just down and dirty punk. Um, but then it's got obviously those kind of soaring vocals that Chelsea Wolfe does, kind of over the top of it.
Mrs. Piss.
Yeah, you're probably lucky you didn't pull up the other album cover for this one because there's an alternative one that is nae safe for Twitch, man. Um, songs to
Brilliant.
check it off that would probably be Downers Surrounded by Uppers. It's a pretty good song.
Right.
So yeah, I thought I'd chuck that in there. It's something it's a bit different. It's like I said, it's a side project. It's really the production on it isn't that good. I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't need to be, in my opinion, for that kind of music.
Right. So what was the name of that one's EP again?
That's called Self Surgery
Self
by Mrs.
Surgery.
Piss.
Self Surgery. And your top EP of the year.
Well, it's gonna be obvious, isn't it? Surely.
Well, I don't know. Well, I, Zealand Ardor.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You guessed it, man. Zealand Ardor, Wickham Nation.
Yeah, I figured your
Wow.
Zealand Ardor would be in there.
Wow. Like, this EP leaves me speechless, man. I genuinely don't know what to say about it. It's the best thing they've ever done.
Mhm.
It was obviously written during and focuses on the Black Lives Matter movement and issues, it's protests
Yeah.
that happened earlier in the year.
Mhm.
I've actually taken some lyrics
Oh yeah.
out of one of the songs, if you want me to read it to you.
Yeah, go for it.
This gives you like a kind of flavour about how dark this fucking EP is.
Right.
So this lyrics is taken from the song Vigil, which is the first song on the album.
Okay.
It's I can't breathe. It's a cell phone. Please don't shoot. I need to get home. I'm on my knees, begging, please. So you're just following orders. They just keep following on us. How many more will it last? Why not just take all from us?
Damn.
Yeah.
It's
So,
pretty.
yeah, pretty deep stuff there.
I still love how this band are a thing. From was it 4chan?
Yeah.
Like, what was the story again? Like somebody said like make a band with black metal and black slave music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's genuinely like how this project started.
It's just
But it's become so much more than that.
yeah,
it's
for sure.
Bigger than 4chan will ever be, put it that way.
Yeah. It's just I love how just, like weird it is,
Yeah.
but then it just starts to make sense after a while. Like yeah,
sorry, go on.
it's just super catchy.
Agreed, man.
And it's something that if I read that on paper, I'd be like, no way am I liking this. But yeah, it's fucking great. It's really good.
Mhm. Yep.
Catch you later, Yevgeny. Enjoy your Diablo sesh, mate.
Enjoy Diablo 3, mate.
He's away. He's away to play this Diablo.
I also want to say the second song on that EP, Tuskegee, I think is how you say it. It's an absolute rager.
All right.
What a song! It's also incredibly dark. To the song, I'll leave that for you to do at home, I guess.
Mhm. All right.
But yeah, that's my EPs.
Sound. Well, like I said, I didn't have like an order of my EPs, but my EPs, I had Zeal and Ardor as well.
Good.
Wake of a Nation, that was in there. It was. I didn't listen to it a whole bunch. I maybe listened to it only like 3 times, but because it's not the kind of stuff that I go back to. Zeal and Ardor, like, yeah, I don't find myself like being like, oh right, I'm gonna go listen to Zeal and Ardor, like, a lot, but like it's not that for me. Like I just need to listen to it like maybe once or twice, and I'm just like, fuck, that was great. I guess I've never seen them live. I don't think I've ever seen them live. I think maybe if I saw it live, I I don't I don't know what their live show's like. Have you seen them live?
We've seen them. We've seen them live at our tangent.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if
You can remember
I
that.
can remember that, mate. I don't know, mate.
They're phenomenal live. I've seen them twice live, and both times.
Wait a minute. Was that when we were backstage at Art Tangent?
Yeah, that was yeah.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, I don't know if that would I don't know if I would class that as seeing them live. Uh, but no, yeah, I don't know. They're just one of those bands where it's like I really like it when I listen to it, but I don't find myself coming back to it.
Right.
Yeah. Next up, I had a band, Pressure Cracks.
Oh, yeah.
They released a wee EP that goes by the name of This Is Called Survival, and it's fucking great, and that starts the hardcore on my list. Well, I mean, it's not my list yet, but it's fucking great. It's great hardcore. It just gets you pumped. It's just
That's one of Jason from Wetwood's bands.
yeah, Jason Butler. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's his quote unquote new hardcore band.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's gonna happen with it. Like, if it's just because obviously he's got his Fever 333 on the go, so I
Mhm.
don't know how far he's gonna take it or all that stuff. But it was really really good. Um,
Yeah, I like that one as well. I remember listening to that.
just great. Just short and sweet. Yeah, and I love his vocals. I still remember back in the day, like Let Live. Just oh, man, that it. I feel like I get the Let Live vibe more from Pressure Cracks than I do from Fever 333.
For sure. Yeah. I totally
Um,
agree with you.
because the Fever 333 it's yeah, it's just got way more other stuff going on, like more hip hop, and it's more produced and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually preferred because Fever 333 brought out an album this year, and I actually preferred this Pressure Cracks EP to the 333 release.
I would agree with you.
Like the Fever 333, like it was great, but I don't know. I was expecting. I think I was expecting more. I had my expectations was higher for that.
Fever 333 album, it felt quite forced to me. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how else to word that, to be honest.
It just wasn't. It just. I don't know. It just didn't get me stoked. Like I was. I think I was expecting like.
Like when you compare it to like, well, because it's obviously again a lot. Most of it's about the Black Lives Matter movement.
Uh-huh.
The album, and when you compare it to stuff like Zeal and Ardor, and probably some other stuff that we're going to talk about later, I just don't think it comes close. To be
Yeah.
honest, which is a shame. I hate to say it, but
Yep. Right, and then. So that's Pressure Cracks. And what was that called again? This is called Survival. So that was the name of that. Next up is another hardcore band. This EP was fucking amazing. Really fucking good EP.
Hmm.
Super good. This came out near the start of the year, and I listened to the shit out of this. It came up on my Spotify Wrapped, mate. If you want to talk about that for a little bit, because I know people are raging about Spotify Wrapped right now, just because it's like everyone's talking about it, but and it's got shared like a million times. You know, like, well, probably more than a million, but
My Spotify Wrapped didn't really work very well, but that's my own fault for not really using Spotify.
yeah. I mean,
So,
it's just all the artists are raging about like, well, I guess because it's Spotify's big on like trending on Twitter. Like all the artists are talking about how they don't get paid shit,
mm,
and they're just making funnies at it. But yeah, this came up on my Spotify rap, and it made me
what is it?
realize. So Malevolence is the name of the band, and
Ah,
the name of the EP is The Other Side. And holy fuck, man, it's only 3 tracks, but this EP is awesome. Like, probably if I was going to make a list of my EPs, like in order, like you did, this would probably be number one.
yeah.
Like this EP, like I'm trying to figure out how long it is right now. The Other Side. It's only 12 minutes. It's 12 minutes long.
Oh,
But this EP is fucking great, man. It's 3 songs. Remain Unbeaten is just top tier hardcore. It's just like really, really good shit. It's uplifting, like bad at like lyrics you can get behind. It just gets you pumped.
hmm.
Super meaty guitars, and yeah, man, just badass.
It's
Like
everything you want from hardcore then.
yeah, just everything you want. Like, and it's like I saw them support Knocked Loose last year,
Hmm.
and like I'd heard of Malevolence, and I'd listened to like a few of their tracks and been like, yeah, that's cool. But then when I saw them live supporting Knocked Loose, I was like, fuck, like this band, man. Like I need to investigate this band. Like I need to get to know this band. And then when this EP came out, I was like, fuck, right, I'm sold. Like I'm a Malevolence fan for sure. Um,
Awesome.
and and then I was saying to you earlier, like they just off stream, I was saying they've just been announced as main support for Thy Art Is Murder,
Yeah.
which is hype. That'll be insane. That's good. That's like really good for them because I feel like they're still kind of unknown a little. Well, not unknown, but they're still kind of like
I
they
mean,
just.
I've never properly checked Malevolence out, or Malevolence out, I should say. But like, I've been hearing about them for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, like probably about 10 years ago, I'm still hearing about this band.
Hmm. Yeah. So like yeah, they're at that point where they have the chance, I think, to gain some serious traction, start like playing like big slots, and I think it kind of rests on them for their next release. Like if they can bring out their next album and have that album be just fucking like everything, like that'll be that'll be great. That'll take them there, I think. But like getting main support slots is badass, because I mean they're a hardcore band, right? I mean Thy Art Is
Yeah.
Murder. They're not hardcore. They're like deathcore, death metal. So so that's really cool. I think that they're getting main support slots. So that's going to open them up to potentially a heap of new fans. Because I think there is a lot of crossover between hardcore and deathcore. And yeah, I just think it'll be good for them. Also, I would be amiss if I didn't mention the 3 tracks I said. Remain Unbeaten is just your 10 out of 10 hardcore awesome single. Second track is called Keep Your Distance with Brian Garris,
Hmm.
the vocalist from Knock Loose.
Ah, right,
So
okay.
that track's really cool as well because you've got that because that Brian Garris guy, he's got such a unique um voice, man. Like,
Yeah, he's got quite an original scream, doesn't he?
yeah, because it's like high
You instantly know it's
pitch.
him.
Yeah, you instantly know. It's like high pitch kind of like shouty. I don't know. It's hard to
It's
describe.
almost
It's
like a screech, is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's really cool. And then the next one, the third and final track, is the same name as the EP. It's called The Other Side, and fucking hell, man, this song is so good. Not enough people know about this song, but I really really recommend it because in Malevolence they have it's like a standard band lineup. You know, they have the vocalist, the two guitars, the bass, and the drums, but the vocalist is obviously doing all the hardcore stuff, but the guitarist, I think the lead guitarist, I'm forgetting his name, but he does like badass vocals, like sort of growly singing vocals, um, very akin to like Phil Anselmo, or you know like that kind of
Oh
southern
yeah.
groove. And he comes in and he goes like that, and it's just ace. And this vocal, he does the vocal on the other side, and it's kind of like a ballad, and he just absolutely nails this vocal, man. It's so good. Yeah. So that's Malevolence.
Definitely have to check that out.
Yeah.
Just totally missed that one.
And the other EP I was going to mention was uh, I think the only live show I saw this year was Mark Morton, lead guitarist from Lamb of God.
Hmm?
So I actually met him. So I saw his live show. Um, he was doing his run of little acoustic live shows for his new EP called Ether, and this EP is great. It's got a load of like guest spots on it. So let me just pull up this EP. Really good production, really good songwriting. I mean, the guitar is perfect. I mean, you're talking about Mark Martin from Lamb of God, so you know the
Yeah.
guitar is great. So he's got Mark Morales in there, who does great vocals. He's got John Carbone, is Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, Howard Jones, and Mark Morales does another track with him as well. But it's just really
I don't remember
good.
if I've heard this or not. I've got a rough memory of this, but I don't know. I don't remember it that well.
Mm. It's just really good shit, man. It's yeah, it's just like chilled out acoustic vibes. Um, so, but it's obviously coming from a metal guitarist.
Hmm.
It's a metal guitarist's acoustic side project, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, if you're a guitarist and you can appreciate, you know, acoustic stuff, it's great. And all the guest vocalists he has are really good as well. And yeah, that was Mark Martin's Ether. So, Jesus, man, I've just noticed the time. So that's like
I know.
45 minutes. So we might need to we'll figure it out, but we're gonna move on now to the section that is close to making it. So these are just rattle off a few names. Let's just say like we have to limit it to one, maybe to one band that just were
Well, I'm not gonna go in deep on these, but
yeah.
albums that were close to making it on my list was the Protest Hero album, Pamphleseat. I don't even know how to fucking say it. Goodness knows. Code Orange, the live acoustic album Under the Skin.
Right.
Lizard Lounge by Baron Womb.
Right.
Greg Puciato album Child Soldier, Creative God was almost in there. And Emancipator Mountain of Memory was almost in there as well.
Right. Oh yeah, you were mentioning
they all-
Emancipator. Yeah.
They all just missed out.
Just missed it.
was, just missed it.
Right. Well,
What
for
about you,
me,
mate?
there was again a load because I was saying to you earlier, like I could have done a top well, definitely a top 30, but I had like 50 albums at the start floating about, and I was just like, right, well, this is kind of ridiculous. So I get well. I had the new Sepultura album was fucking really good. It was like a return to form for Sepultura, who have been releasing okay albums, but obviously their heyday was like the 80s, 90s. Back when thrash was still real big, and they had that like
Yeah.
Brazilian groove going on. And obviously all the controversy with folk preferring certain lineups. But the lineup they have right now is great. And this is totally a return to form. That just missed it. Also, we already spoke about Fever 333. I really liked it. I just was expecting some more, so that's why it didn't make it into my top 20. Black Dahlia Murder, Verminous, that was great.
Oh, that was a really good album. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It just didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't quite make it. And then Pallbearer, I had Pallbearer there as well.
Yeah.
Which yeah, didn't quite make it. The and then an album I just listened to last couple of days actually when I was making this list, because I kind of didn't listen to it on release, which I think is great but didn't quite make it for me, is Killer Be Killed, Reluctant Hero. That just didn't quite make it. Like, I don't know if it's I haven't had enough time with it or whatever it is, but yeah. Also, similarly, Venart. I know you sent me that the other day there, Venart.
We'll be speaking about both those albums later, Matt. So.
Yeah, so that didn't
Wished.
it didn't quite make it for me, but was yeah, great. Great. I'm excited to listen to more of that, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, so that's pretty much enough of that. So let's start the list, mate. So top 20. So we were speaking earlier, or not earlier, but we had spoken about how we were going to do it if one of us mentions another one's pick for higher up in the list. So right, so like if I mention so and so's at 20 and you've got them higher, we'll just hold off and we'll talk together about them when we get to where you have it higher on your list.
Yep.
Do you want to kick things off then?
Yeah. So my number 20 is Hatebreed, Weight of the False Self.
Epic. Yes. Fucking great album, man.
Will we be discussing this later?
Yes. Yes, we will be. Not much later though. Not much later though.
Okay.
But yeah, we will be. So we should probably move on to my number 20 then.
Yeah.
Which I have as I got a follow there. Stuart 11. Oh, why so that'd be Stuart Ritchie. How's it going, man? Yeah, we've just started the list. We've been going for about 50 minutes now, but we've only made it through like special mentions, EPs, and bands that have almost made the list. So now we're actually starting the list. So Ian's number 20 is the new Hatebreed album, and I'm gonna put The Chats' High Risk Behavior at number 20.
Yes.
For no other reason than it's fucking just great fucking.
Isn't it?
It's just the Chats, man. Like
just good fun.
it's just good fun. Yeah. Like I want to have fun sometimes when you're listening to your music, and not just be all super serious and analytical, you know. And the Chats just fucking great. Let me get a picture of that album up for the stream. So the Chats. So how do you even begin to describe the Chats? They are from Australia. They're like 3 young Aussie dudes, and they play like punk, like garage
It's
punk.
straight up punk, innit?
It's like, yeah, just like straight up garage punk, and all their songs are just hilarious. Like, what are some of the song titles? So they've got like the clap, pub feed, um, dine and dash. Yeah, like they're just great. They're obviously inspired by a lot of bands, a lot of punk bands, and they just obviously having fun, and they've, I think they got picked up on like an Aussie news channel, right? Like, I think they gained traction with Smoko, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
released a song.
Smoko took it off.
Smoko like took off and was like a viral sensation. And if you haven't heard that song or don't know what Smoko is, it's like the Aussie slang for like you're going on a smoke break. So you say like, I'm going on a smoko. And they made a whole song around that, and it like blew up. And then some news channel did a story on them, and then from there they gained even more traction, released some EPs, did Australian tours, and these guys are only like fucking, well, I think they must be like 17 or 18 now. But when they
Yeah,
started,
they're super young.
super young, yeah, like
Yeah.
15 or something. And yeah, so then they got doing like European tours, and I think they did an American tour, and I think when they did their American tour, they had when they played LA, they had like Dave Grohl
Yeah,
and
they've got
Josh.
Josh Homme there and everything.
Yeah, they all came out, and that's just ace. I just think that's fucking ace. That they came out,
Was it
support them.
was it last year we saw them at the Lemon Tree?
Fuck.
It must have been, was it?
Was it last year? Um, Maybe it was. Yeah, last year.
Yeah, it was like the end of last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah, we
That
saw them.
must be about a year ago we saw them actually.
And they were fucking ace, man. They were so
Yeah.
good. They were like, and the crowd was mental. Like, I was expecting
I've never
like
seen a crowd go that nuts in Aberdeen.
for
never.
like for that kind of band,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, it was like, oh, it was bouncing, man. It was proper bouncing. I'm trying to remember what it reminded me of. It was like almost like a Frank Carter show. That kind of vibe, but
Mm-hmm.
more jumpy kind of vibe going on. And there was everyone and anyone was in the crowd as well. That's what I thought was cool. It's like
Yeah.
young folk and like older punk guys as well had come to check it out. Yeah, it was just great. And yeah, I hope they go far. I really hope they go far. I can totally see them playing like your sort of more mainstream festivals when that all starts up again. Like, I could see them playing like a
Dude,
Glastonbury stage.
book the chats at Download to play second stage.
Yeah, they could. That's the thing. They
During
could.
like in the middle of the day or like mid afternoon, late afternoon.
Yeah,
And you just put on such a hell of a show, man. It'd be great.
yeah, for sure.
I'd be going pits.
Yeah, man. And they have that sound that they could play like, several different kind of festivals.
Yeah, you could easily swap them into the Reading Leeds,
Hmm.
Download, Glastonbury.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
they could play any of the big ones.
So yeah, that's the Chat's High Risk Behavior. If you want some garage punk rock fun, talking about what you're gonna eat at the pub. Yeah. So you're number 19.
My number 19 is by a band called Ohms, and the album's
Oh,
called
yeah.
Close.
Yep, I know the album. Um, yeah, I don't have it higher on my list. That was one of the ones that that didn't quite make it for me.
Not quite there for you, eh?
Yeah, I think I preferred their previous release, but I still enjoyed this album Close. Just getting a picture of it. There we go. Ohms, cool artwork, man. The artwork's cool.
Yeah, super cool artwork. I love that. So like a dragonfly sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hate to bring this up, but I suppose we'll have to at some point. Um, this came out in Holy War Records. I don't know
Oh,
if you've heard the Holy War
yeah,
Records controversy, mate.
yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah. Well, not to go into that, but anyway, Holy Record, Holy. What am I trying to say here? They put out some fucking good music.
Yeah.
So it's a shame that all that's kind of happened regarding that.
Well, most of the bands now, if not all of them, have jumped ship, right?
Yeah,
For those who don't
I think
know,
all the bands have.
yeah, briefly, the Holy Roar Records owner was involved in like a um, well, he's basically a scumbag. He had like a abuse allegations and sexual abuse allegations against him. So, the bands and I think the other staff that were at Roar have all sort of disbanded and left, and sort of now moving on to their own thing. But it was a total shame because I think a few of the bands had releases, scheduled just after all this
Yeah,
broke.
yeah.
I can't remember the names of the bands off the top of my head, but I know a few of them had releases scheduled. So, was this one before?
This was way before all that
Right.
kicked off.
Yeah. Yeah.
This came out. I think it was around the summer, was it not?
Right. Okay.
Um, yeah, what an album! Like just stoner rock, punky vibes. Yeah, just honestly, it's just a great wee album. Covering like a bit of everything. Like it's got some
Mhm.
sort of political motivated songs in there. Songs about the environment, that kind of jazz. But yeah, no, just really, really good. I don't really have much else to say on it, to be honest.
The kind of band you would get at Arctangent, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've seen them before live. Ohms.
I have
Were
seen
they at
Ohms.
Were they at
I'm not sure
Arctangent
if you've seen
2018?
Ohms.
Yeah.
I think they
Um.
were the Art Tangent that you weren't at, mate.
Right. That'll have been what it is then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I much preferred their previous album. Um. But
Oh,
this
did
one,
you?
yeah, this one was still real good though.
I think this is my favorite one they've done,
Yeah. Um.
to be honest.
If I've not seen them, which I don't think I have, they sound like they're definitely a band I want to see live. Definitely. Right. Well, going on then to my number 19. If you've anything else you want to say about Ohms?
Oh no, go ahead, mate.
So my number 19, mate. I've been so hyped to talk about this band, mate. So hyped. I'm excited to hear if you've heard of them, and if you've heard of them, what your thoughts are, mate. But I've got some crazy shit to talk about with this band. The band's name is Gulch.
I don't know this band.
Oh yes, come on. The name of the album is Impenetrable Cerebral Fortress, and this is hardcore, mate.
What is this?
Wait,
You've intrigued me.
this is fucking insane, man. Right, so I wrote some notes for this one. Let me bring up my notes so I don't forget any of it. Basically, they're a hardcore band from California,
Okay.
and they're just balls to the wall, like fucking, like in your face, like proper hardcore. Like the band, right? They don't wear shirts. And they wear like black jeans with boots, and their live show is just fucking crushing, and the vocalist is fucking mental, like a mental as you like vocalist, and I actually discovered them through Hate56 on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I fucking love that channel, by the way.
It's,
And
it's a good channel, yeah.
yeah, and oh, dude, it just really good. Like, just to give you an idea of their live show, like it's just classic, like everyone two-stepping, like, and like just going fucking mental. Like, I saw someone in this Hate56 video, um, at one point get on the stage and in time to the hardcore pretend to be a slug. Uh, and in the background, while this guy's being a slug on the stage, like it's just everyone's two stepping, and it's just like, what am I looking at? And then there's another like infamous video of this band on Twitter, I think, where seemingly randomly you're just watching this live show. It's like it's an outside show, just somewhere random. It looks like
Right.
it's maybe like underneath a overpass, you know, kind of industrial outside, just looking like shit. And all of a sudden, the crowd they all start taking off their belts and then run over to the vocalist and start whipping the vocalist with their belts.
Right. Okay.
And then like at like a certain part of the song, and then like the live set just continues, and the vocalist just continues like fucking going, and you're just like,
What,
what
as
the
if nothing's
fuck?
happened?
Yeah, as if nothing, as if it's entirely like normal, like that's just a thing that happens in their live show. Like the vocalist getting belted. But yeah, just really really angry hardcore, and God, just awesome crowd movement, and just quite groovy and crushing, and yeah, it's just ace, man. That album, and what an album title as well. You know, to fucking what a title? Impenetrable Cerebral Fortress by Gulch, and it's their debut as well. As if I get that up for the stream, Gulch. Cool album work as well, and this album is only
see this.
this album is only 15 minutes long.
15 minutes long.
Oh yeah,
I've got to check this out.
15 minutes long, and it's just
You better
just
make this up.
you put it on, and it starts, and it's just like you're just getting battered for 15 minutes, and then it ends.
That artwork, that's so weird.
I love it. It's like you know, it's like, yeah, it's just like surrealism.
Yeah.
It's just like a hodgepodge of surrealism. It's ace. So yeah, that was my number 19. So, on to you, mate. You're number 18.
For my number 18, we're going metal here. Very metal.
All right.
Probably the most metal album on my list, to be honest with you. And it would be Kill or Be Killed, or What Tin Hero.
Sound.
Surprise, surprise.
I liked it. It didn't quite make it there for me, but I definitely liked it. Yeah, it was cool.
So, if you don't know who this band is, they are kind of groovy metal, thrashy metal,
Yeah.
but they're not just any band, they're like a supergroup. So,
Yeah.
they've got the old singer from Dillinger Escape Plan, Greg Puciato. They've got Max Calavera from Sepultura. They've got Troy Sanders in the band, who's also in Mastodon. And they've got the drummer from Converge, Ben Collar, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And wow, what an amalgamation of bands to meld together.
Yeah, man.
And that's what this album really feels like, that, as did their last one. It is like if you just mixed all those bands together, like that is what Kill or Be Killed sounds like, and I love it. I think it's so original. It's good to see that there's like an actual metal band that's making decent metal in 2020.
Yeah, man.
It's quite rare to find nowadays, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when I was listening to it, I was loving all the parts of it. Especially the fact that because it's a super group and you've got several vocalists in there, you're getting different vocals
Yeah.
on each song, and
It really breaks it up.
yeah, for sure. And I just love Troy Sanders' vocals, man. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. See, it's weird hearing like something that's so obviously Mastodon, with not Mastodon music. It's great though. I love it, and you know, Dillinger Escape Plan, Greg Puciato, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but does a great job as well, and the riffs were all good. Definitely was one that just didn't make it for me, but
I mean, this might have been higher up for me in my list if it came out early in the year, but it only came out. Well, it was a few weeks ago, I think. So
yeah. Yeah, it was only a few weeks ago. Yeah, you're
But
right.
it has managed to sneak into my list.
Mhm.
And,
Something I have to say about this
worthy of it.
album though
Uh-huh.
is the first track um on the album.
Yeah.
The riff, the main riff in the first track on the album, it's
Okay.
literally just Backbone by Gojira.
I thought I'd heard something similar, and now that you've said that, oh God.
If you listen to Backbone by Gojira and then listen to this,
What? The song "Deconstructing Self-Destruction."
yeah,
That
it's
one.
just Backbone by Gojira. It's like it's just a lesser Gojira, like at least that song, you know, it
I see where you're coming from. Yeah,
It's
the way the rhythm of it.
very very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. But I really like the track From a Crowded Wound.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
was
that
a
one,
fucking that was really really good. I guess for me it just came across kind of almost Metal by Numbers, but Metal by Numbers done really well. Um,
I think it might just sound metal by numbers to you because of the caliber of people that's in that band.
yeah,
Um, I thought their last album, what's that? What is it? Self-titled, Killer Be Killed. I
Yeah.
felt that was more metal by numbers
mhm,
because you could really pick out. You could be like, oh, well, that's a Dillinger bit. Oh, there's a Sepultura bit.
right,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
I think this album it does a better job of merging the sounds together than the
mhm,
last one done.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, I really like it. It's good. And I want to include it because, like I said, it's probably it's the most metal thing on my list by fucking mile, to be honest. So
yeah. Well,
I have to chuck
Like-
it in there.
yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see where the band goes. Like if they're going to do live shows in the future, because they
Well,
are
yeah.
because they are a
Yeah, I'm
super
sure
group,
they
you
will.
know.
I'm sure they will.
But yeah, it was cool. Right, my number 18 was your number 20,
Oh yeah.
which is Hatebreed: The Weight of the False Self, which was just fucking great. Like I didn't actually know there was a Hatebreed album coming out until it came out, and I was like, oh fuck, new Hatebreed, what the fuck? And started listening to it, and I was like, this is it, this is the one. Like it just gets you so stoked, man. Like the last album, The Concrete Confessional, that came out, and I think I probably prefer that album to this one, but both of these Hatebreed albums, yeah, I think it just has more like memorable riffs, but both of them are great. Both of them are like on form Hatebreed, because previous to these two albums, I think they kind of went off, like they just kind of were like kind of meh, but they've definitely come back online, so to speak, for me anyway. And this album was just great fun, and it was like, you know, it was like super. It's like always like uplifting. It's like uplifting hardcore.
Yeah, it's very very positive hardcore.
Yeah, positive hardcore. And it's like all the vocals are great, and I thought that this one was like pretty anthemic. You know, like you can imagine the crowd getting behind this one and properly like going for
Well,
it.
it's got so much sing-along parts to it.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
so many chants. It sounds
Yeah.
like Hatebreed. I mean, it sounds like Hatebreed. What more do you want to say about it?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's
Hatebreed have a very distinct sound.
yeah, for sure. And Jamie Jasta is just being his classic self, and you know everyone came to work. Like guitars, great. I love the guitars, man. The guitars, simple, groovy, punchy. Like yeah, the production was great. Something that I want to mention that's just hilarious. That you might have seen. It's kind of a meme that the artwork. If you look at the artwork, the artwork, right? So
Mhm.
it's a dude he's like sculpture. He's got a sculpture, and he's he's carving into the sculpture himself, or
Yeah.
that's supposed to be like the metaphor, right? But if you like zoom in on on the tool that he's using, it almost looks like a razor. And then like on the dude, like the actual sculpture, it's like got a white bit, and people are like, why is that guy shaving that guy's chest? And I just thought that was funny. But yeah, so that's my number 18. Just classic.
Say, I think this is possibly my favorite Hatebreed album.
Really, that's cool,
Yeah.
man.
I've not went back to like the super early Hatebreed albums, so I don't know if I'd like them more or not.
Yeah,
But definitely like I think it was definitely the last 4 Hatebreed albums, and this is my favorite by a long shot. So
that's cool. That's cool. And it just I know when we were at Download 2018, they played, and I just love it, man. Like just whenever I hear it, it just transports me to in my mind being at Download. Yeah, because we
I
were
don't even remember that.
we were sat up on the hill, and they were on, and I just like it transports me to that time when I was like seeing them, and I had 2 beers, because you know how in England you can get them big ass like 2 pints,
Yeah.
because you're not allowed to get those in Scotland. But
It's like a pint and a half things or something.
no, it's like literally 2 pints, like
the
the
2
yeah.
pint cups.
So yeah, so like away at the Download bar, queuing for fucking years to get a drink. So I'm like, I'm not doing this again. So I bought 4 pints to myself, but like 2 pint fucking plastic cups. So I've fucking got this fucking 4 pints of this shitty fucking Download beer that I probably spent like fucking 25 quid on, and I'm watching Hatebreed, and I've got them both in my hand. I'm like sipping from one, sipping from the other. I'm just like, this is fucking great.
Probably why I cannot even remember this at all.
So it's just like whenever I hear Hatebreed now, it's just like it transports me to that like happy, safe place on that hill at Download, like with 4 pints and 2 hands.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
I remember seeing Hatebreed at Bloodstock one year, and I was with Callum. You know how Callum he's not like a big hardcore fan,
he likes Hatebreed though.
but even by the end of it, he was like shouting away to Hatebreed, and
Yeah.
I was like, "What's happened to you, Callum? What have you become?"
It's just
Yeah, I
a
know,
it's a
great
good
live band,
time. It's a
honestly.
good time. So yeah, that was my number 18. Hatebreed, The Weight of the False Self. So on to your number 17 now.
My number 17 is Loathe. I let it in and it took everything.
Fuck yeah. Well, we won't be talking about that here, mate, because I have that higher.
Aye, well, alrighty.
I do have that higher. So let me put that in. And we'll just jump straight.
We'll come back to that one, will we?
We'll come back to that one. So we'll jump to my 17, which I will be very surprised if you have this on your list, mate, because it's a jazz album. And
There's not a chance I've heard this.
yeah, so I was talking to you about our lists when we were, because my list has been kind of fluid in the last week, like listening to like all these albums, make sure I've not missed anything, and this album was coming in and out, in and out, in and out, and then I realized, why am I trying to like make this list for other people? This is my fucking list, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, you know, if I structure this list on the albums that I had the most fun with and listen to, this fucking jazz album's here. So, you know, it's by a band that are linked to Wolfpack, who I've shown you Wolfpack, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know
So-
Wolfpack.
Yeah, so this band's intrinsically linked to Wolfpack because several
Yeah.
of the members are like, I think the whole thing with Wolfpack, right, is they've got a lot of like, they're kind of like a collective, and bits of them go and do like other shit. Like there's a lot of projects that are attached. So this one is from some of the members with another guy or a few other guys, I think. It's called The Fearless Flyers is the name of the band, and the album is called Tailwinds.
Right.
This is just fucking, it's just a good time. It's just a really good time, really fun. Like, yeah, it's just jazz. Like, I don't listen to a lot of jazz.
What kind of instruments have they got on there? Out of
Like
interest.
guitars. It's like the guitars and the drums, man. Really fucking good. And it's all instrumental, I believe. Like there's no vocals.
Okay.
Like there is vocals in Wolfpack, but in the Fearless Flyers, yeah, there's no vocals. But Tailwinds. Here we go. Yeah, like Nate Smith is the ace of aces is the first track, and that'll just fucking hit you right there with the jazz, man. It's just really good. And yeah, I don't like I said I don't listen to a lot of jazz, but when I do, it's normally Wolfpack. But because this is I heard about this through Wolfpack, it was just ace. Like they have a lot of their videos online on YouTube, very similar. They must have shot them all on the same day or something because they're all in the same sort of layout. But it's really good. So check them out if you're into jazz in any way. Really good. Really,
Not something I tend to go in for, but if you're big it up, I'll definitely check it out.
it's just it's I don't know, man. It's just really cool. And see when you listen to like jazz, like it's and then you go back to like metal. It's funny how the rhythms you hear certain rhythms that are like very similar. Um, you know,
A side note here, but have you heard Imperial? What they called Imperial Triumphant? Have you heard
uh,
that band?
Imperial Tribe. I've heard. Is that not the ones they opened for Behemoth and they're like just fucking random noise?
Yeah, it's like jazz meets black metal sort of stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, yeah. Well, reminds
Yeah,
me.
sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. But
yeah. It's not my cup of tea either, but I can appreciate how just fucking insane it is. Um, but yeah, I think I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how they opened for Behemoth, and people were talking about how it was like the most uncomfortable thing they'd heard all year. Just because it's so random, they couldn't place it, you know. Um, but yeah,
Simon the Open Biffy Clyro keeps ranting about the album, like keeps going on about it.
well, maybe something to check
Loves
out.
it. He loves it.
But yeah,
It's not an album I might be speaking about, so sorry.
well, from someone like myself who's mainly into metal, hardcore, alternative music, the Fearless Flyers Tailwinds as a jazz album, it might be a good place to hop in because I really love it. It might be like an entry point. I can't really explain why I love it, but it just sounds fucking good. So,
Awesome.
yeah, that was my
Didn't
number
think we'd get a
17.
Jazz album in here tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, there it is.
Cool to see.
So yeah, on to your number. What is it? 16?
Oh, aye, it's but you put
Ah,
Your album
yeah, I see what I've
into
done.
the wrong slot there, mate.
I'll edit that, don't you worry.
So my number 16 isn't actually the Furious Flyers because I've not heard that. My number 16 is actually Haggard Cat, Common Sense Holiday.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard this album, Glenn?
I have not, but I've
Oh.
heard people talking about it.
So Haggard Cat, they're a duo from Nottingham.
Right.
It's two of the members from Heck. Well,
Oh
used to be
yeah,
Heck,
heck,
Last Baby
yeah, yeah,
Godzilla.
yeah.
Don't really sound anything like Heck at all, to be honest. It sounds like I don't know even how to describe it. Like punked up rock, well, punk rock, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's quite screamy, or it can be in some parts. Bluesy punk rock
Right.
with screamed vocals.
Sound.
I guess that's what it sounds like. Anyways, I really, really, really like the first album that they put out in 2018, Challenger.
Right.
And this album's just, it just builds on it so many ways.
So this is Common Sense Holiday.
This is Common Sense Holiday. 11 songs, 43 minutes. It's flawless, dude. I love this album. From start to finish.
Cool. I'm trying to think if
It's
I've
been
seen
played a lot in my car this year, to say the least.
Sound. I'm trying to think if I've seen them live. I can't think if I've seen them live.
I have not seen them live. They're on my list to see. I really
Yeah.
want to see Haggard Cat. Heck.
Yeah,
Haggard
I
Cat,
think
though.
I think I remember you putting me onto Heck like a good few years ago, and you know at that time I was like, this is cool, this is really cool. But then I feel like they just immediately broke up as soon as I started listening to them.
Yeah, they broke up soon after their album came out.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, but shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend checking out Haggard Cat.
Yeah.
Again, sounds totally different to what Heck sounded like. It's nowhere like Heck sounded like Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yeah.
Haggard Cat have more in common with like fucking blues rock than Dillinger Escape Plan. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So yeah, I've saved it. It is now in my to listen to list. Right then. So Haggard Cat, Common Sense Holiday at your number 16. My number 16 is some more hardcore, mate.
Of course it is.
Higher Power, 27 Miles Underwater. Epic.
Do you like this
Just
one?
oh, really good, really good. Loved it. Yeah, I just another hardcore album, but not as it's definitely not as heavy as Gulch. I can't get over that band's name. But this one, like I've they've been on my radar for a while. I am Higher Power. I'm trying to think if I've seen them live. I don't think I have seen them live, but this one was just a good time.
Wait, have we not? I've seen Higher Power live. Were you not there? I
Maybe
just assumed you were there.
maybe I was. I don't know. Higher Power. I really loved their last album, Soul Structure. That was their debut album, I think.
Yeah, that
Um,
album is very good.
So yeah, this album was great. Lost in Static, I really love that song. There's a few other songs on there that are just really great. They have this song Low Season, which is really good. It's just fucking great. I'm trying to see where they're from. I don't know where they're from, but they do sound slightly different from your typical hardcore, you know. It's
Yeah, they've definitely got that sort of.
it's
Well,
all
I just call it turnstile.
yeah.
That's-
It's
they were,
like it's
first
like
ones to do it.
exactly yeah. It's like not as heavy, as other
They're from
hardcore
Leeds. They're from Leeds, mate.
from Leeds, right? Cool. Yeah. Oh no, I think I have seen them, man. I think I have seen them somewhere. But yeah, fucking great. Higher Power, another hardcore band. Yeah, a lot of hardcore on my list, and this one, I guess it's just not higher because I listen to the other shit more, but this had the potential to be higher on my list, I think. It's a fucking great album. And
I wasn't that keen on it.
you
be
weren't
honest.
keen on it, no?
Nah. It's got too much pop punk singing on it for me, man.
That's what I was.
Just
Yeah, I mean,
that's what took it down for me. I was like, the riffs are good, guitars are there, breakdowns are there. The vocals, I don't know. I much preferred the Soul Structure vocals.
that's what I
as
was
opposed
meaning
to
with
what they've
it
done
being
in the
like it's not as heavy, and I think that's part of it. Is
Yeah.
the vocals, which I think at first I was like, but I think I just got into it. I just got used to it, I guess. But I rated it.
It hooked me in, unfortunately.
Okay.
Still a good band, though. Still a
Yeah,
good
for
band.
sure, for sure. Right, so we're now on to your number 15.
15. So taking a left turn away from guitars for a wee minute, we're gonna go into some singer-songwriter sort of stuff. We've got A. Williams, Forever Blue. Which is
Okay.
her debut album.
I don't know this.
You don't know this.
No. What was the name
A.
again?
Williams.
AA.
Well, yeah, you'll get it on Discord, mate.
Oh yeah, of course.
Uh,
Let's have a look. Do-do.
So let me find out where she's from because I can't remember off the top of my head. That's bad.
Here we go. A. Williams. What kind of music is this?
So it's very, very slow music. So like slow building music.
All right.
I guess it takes a lot of influence from like post rock,
Okay.
post metal, but it's not. It's neither of those things. It's mainly A. Williams, with a piano.
Okay.
Piano music.
Sound.
It's super, super, super chilled out. Um, sounds. Wait, where the? Sorry, mate. I've lost this album. I was actually going to go through some of the songs.
It's all good. So, just chilled out piano music, but really good songwriting.
Yeah, like incredible songwriting. Honestly,
Cool.
it is quite a heavy album. It's got like heavy subject matters.
Ah, right. Okay.
And it's probably not something you'd want to listen to, like sitting casually chilling in your garden or whatever, you know.
Right. I
Um,
understand.
but-
She gets into it. She gets into it deep.
oh yeah, I mean the album's called Forever Blue. I mean, if you're not getting it from that, you know what I mean.
Right. Right. Okay.
But wow, what a voice! Like honestly, like
Mm.
it's in the same vein of Chelsea Wolfe, Emma.
Ah,
Frimble,
right,
that sort of
okay.
thing. Saw her at Art Tangent last year,
All right. Cool.
and she opened up the main stage one of the mornings, and it was phenomenal. Honestly,
That sounds cool.
she's
I haven't heard it, but I've got it saved. And to be honest, I've never taken the leap, like committed to just like properly listening through your Chelsea Wolf kind of style of album. So I feel like if I feel like I maybe give it
oh,
give
I
Chelsea
wouldn't
Wolf a go.
for you if you want to take a step into it and see what it's all about. Instead of checking out Forever Blue, which is the album, check out one of her covers, which is Be Quiet and Drive, Deftones cover.
Oh, mate, my favorite
And
song. Basically,
Dude,
like one of my favorite songs.
You'll see what kind of vibe she's going for, dude. She totally changes the song.
Sound.
It's amazing. She's also got a Jolene cover,
Right.
which is fantastic as well. Just to throw that in there. But
Hype.
yeah, great artist, great voice. It had to go in the top 20, man.
Yeah. Sound. Right. Well, I will definitely give it a go. A. Williams, Forever Blue. Right, my number 15. I can almost guarantee, mate, that my number 15 is going to be quite a bit higher on your list, mate. So my number 15 is Code Orange, Underneath.
I will be speaking about that later.
Yeah, that's what I thought, mate. So yeah, right back at you for your number 14, mate.
Oh. So again, this one's quite left of field. Clipping. The album's
Right.
called Visions of Bodies Being Burned.
Is
Have
this
you heard this?
this is hip hop, right?
This is hip hop, yeah.
I haven't so I know the name Clipping and I know it's hip hop, but I haven't actually listened to it. That's as far as I got, really.
That's as far as you got.
Yeah.
This ain't your average hip hop band.
Right. Okay.
Put it that way. This is very, very experimental hip hop.
Right.
So like the best analogy I can come up with would be like, do you know the band Daughters?
Yeah.
So you know how like horrific that band sounds,
Right. Yeah.
like in like the metal kind of scene, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the hip hop version of Daughters.
Right.
It's
Okay.
just it's very heavy. There's lots of noise, lots of like crazy synth sounds. The rapping on it is absolutely fantastic.
All right.
It's
Okay.
flawless. It's like got some really, really fast rapping. I'm like talking like Eminem kind of like levels of fast here.
Right. Okay.
Excellent, excellent, very good lyrics. The album tells a pretty fucked up story, but again, well worth a listen.
So
Um,
so what would it what if you were to I mean, I like hip hop, but I'm not super into hip hop. So what would it be like akin to? Like, what's it like?
Well, dude, I don't know. I don't know that much hip hop, but I've
Right.
not heard any hip hop that sounds like this before.
Right. Okay.
I couldn't even put this into. It's so experimental.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
Like honestly, if you wanna hear kind of what it sounds like, probably the song to check out would be. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it.
Clipping with a full stop.
Yeah, with a full stop.
I'm trying to think. The
So
yeah.
yeah, like if you listen to the intro of the album and say the name,
Right.
you know, if you like that, go in for the rest of it.
All right. Cool.
It's a dark listen, and some of it is a bit gangster, but you know, that's hip hop, so you just
Hype.
gotta accept that. But yeah,
Cool.
really good.
Right. Well, again, it's been saved. My number 14. Right. Let's see. My number 14 comes from the band Elder.
Ah,
Elder,
that one.
and the album is called Omens, and I fucking love this band, man. Really good band who
Yep.
I really want to see live. They are progressive, ambient, sort of with like Pink Floyd vibes. Like it's super chill out, kind of stonery. They take you on a journey. Like
oh yeah,
they take
they're
you
a
like
journey band.
they're a journey band. Yeah, if you've got any medicinal substances that help you in any way, if you want to take them and go on a journey, then this is the kind of music that might help you with that. But yeah, fucking great. Not as good as the previous release.
Mm.
Actually, not the previous release, but the is it Visions of a Floating World? Let me double check the name of the albums Elder have, because
No, reflections of floating world,
yeah, I think that's maybe it. Um,
possibly.
Reflections of a Floating World. Yeah, you're right. That was 2017. So that's my favorite fucking Elder. And then they did release another one called the Gold and Silver Sessions, which I wasn't so stoked on that one. That was last year, but this one, Omens, is really good. Great stuff. The song. All the songs are great. It's the kind of band where their songs are like 10 minutes long, plus.
Yep.
Omens is good. Halcyon's great. Embers is great. The whole album is structured in such a way that if you just listen through the album, it's taking you places, and you can just properly bliss out. Really beautiful soundscapes, atmospheric. All the instruments were just sounding great. It's a good mix. Yeah, I really want to see them live. And they do have vocals, but the vocals, that's not the main it's not the main thing.
They're kind of like pushed down a wee bit in the mix, ain't they? The vocals. They're not like the highest
Yeah.
up there.
Not the highest. Oh, wow, Bennett. I'm just seeing you there in the chat just now. This is hip hop, right? Everyone's nan. I never listened to Rumours by Fleetwood Mac till this year. Worth the hype. Rumours by Fleetwood Mac is a fucking great album, man. I can't tell if that's serious or not, but if you're just listening to that album now, then that's it's kind of impressive that you've not heard that album until now. Yeah, so Eldar, great, just great. I'm trying to think why they weren't higher on my list. I don't know. I guess just stuff on my that's higher on my list. I again listen to more, and just got me more stoked. I mean, this is still
Yeah,
really
they
good.
they were on my mega list, but they never
Yeah.
made it past that,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So yeah, that's my number 14. So right back to you for your number 13, mate.
Oh, you ready for some grindcore?
That's changing the pace quite a bit from like blissful progressive ambience and like stoner kind of chill out to grindcore.
Napalm Death.
Fuck yeah,
throes,
man.
Throes of joy in the jaws of defeatism, mate.
Fucking
What an album.
brutal.
Just
I
hit
haven't.
you in the face.
Yeah, I haven't actually listened to this yet. I do like Napalm Death on occasion.
You like Napalm Death? Come on, you either like Napalm Death or you don't like Napalm Death.
I think I need to be. I need to be in the mood for it. It's definitely one of those bands for me where it's like, I need to be in a very specific mood for Napalm Death. But I totally get it. It's like I've heard a lot of other folk are saying it's great and it's like one of the best Napalm Deaths in recent years.
Oh yeah, it's an absolute banger of an album. Like all the songs on it are good.
Do they have any 3-second songs on this one?
There is no 3-second songs in this one. But I mean
Boo.
that's not the Napalm that's Napalm Death like fucking 30 years ago. That's not Napalm Death now. I think their
Boo.
sound has changed quite drastically.
That should be Napalm Death at all times. Just an album that's got like 50 songs, but every song is 3 seconds long.
So yeah, this Don't Sound Like Scum by Napalm Death, which is like the one most people have heard.
Yeah.
There's a bit more. This is a bit more involved. You know, there's actual songs here, as
Right.
opposed to just blast beats.
Right. Okay.
Contagion is excellent. I would recommend that song.
Mhm.
Fuck the Factoid's good as well.
Mhm.
And the last couple, the last 3 songs of the album that close it, I like all of them too. Belly Full of Salt and Spleen, White Cross, and Blissful Myth. Sorry. Some really cool tracks.
Fuck yeah. Have you seen Napalm Death live?
Yeah.
What?
We saw them at Download. You
Did
don't
we?
remember?
No, I
We
don't
saw
remember.
them at Download. When. Oh, maybe you weren't there.
Try.
I've seen Napalm Death at Download one year. Don't ask me what year because I can't remember. But they headlined the 4th stage, and it was how would you expect it would be? Just heavy. Just
How
blast
you would
beats.
expect.
Napalm Death.
Napalm Death.
So yeah, that's my number 13.
Hype. Right.
Where are you going next, Matt?
I'm going to my next. So my number 13 is Palm Reader with their album Sleepless, which I fucking really liked, and it surprised me. So Palm Reader are this sort of band that started out as like almost like a Britain's answer to Dillinger Escape Plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were very kind of frantic and just like I don't even know how you would really describe the actual music, but just very brutal in every sense of the word, and yeah, sort of kind of almost schizophrenic with their songs, and they got like a little cult following with all that, but and I was always kind of like, yeah, it's cool, but never really super got into them. And then this album came around, and this album's like it's a noted kind of, you know, step in a different direction musically. It's a lot less frantic. It's, I would say, not as heavy, and yeah, initially I was surprised, but
I agree with that.
the album is huge, man. The album is huge, and I mean in terms of like the places it goes and the different music it has in it. It has way more like, it creates these more epic sounding songs that are huge songs. They take you places. They're, you know, they've got way more going on in them. More genres come in. There's like nice sort of melodies, a lot more sort of melodic choruses and some singing going on. And if you listen to the lyrics, they're quite emotional. And I thought it was just a major step up. And it kind of was like, what the fuck is this from Palm Reader? I was kind of like, No, I was like, I was all for expecting some sort of frantic, chugga chugga randomness, but this was just like, it felt like they'd properly sat down and thought about the songwriting, and yeah, it was great. I really liked it, and I think it's an album that you can't really hear everything on the first listen. You're gonna have to listen to this album a few times, I think.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I got that from when I listened to it.
Yeah, and it's it's
It only
great.
came out when it came out like last week or 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago or
it's
something.
yeah. That's another thing as well. Like, it's not been out long at all, so I
Yeah,
feel like folk are gonna need a bit longer with it.
yeah, I definitely need a bit longer with that one.
Yeah. So, Palm Reader, um, really good. I saw them. I saw them not long ago, actually. I saw them at the end of last year, I think, or I saw them last year
Oh,
at some
cool.
point, and they were supporting. I think they were supporting Employed to Serve.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and they weren't. They were great, but I don't remember them playing so much of this new stuff because they were very much still like the old Palm Reader that I had remembered at that point.
Right. Okay.
But great live. I think
I imagine they might have written a lot of this over lockdown then, possibly.
possibly,
I
yeah.
don't know that for sure though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. If they did, that's a fucking quick sort of turnaround. But yeah, great shit. So yeah, that's my number 13 pick. So yeah, on to you.
My number 12, I suspect I might be talking about this later on, not yet, is All Them Witches, Nothing Is the Ideal.
Fuck yes, we will be talking about that later, mate.
Thought so.
Uh,
So back to you then. Whatever
Oofed,
your
man,
number 12 is.
oofed. That album, oofed, mate. So it's a sneak peek. Oofed. That's all I'm saying. Right. So number 12 for me. Let me just update this here. Right then. So my number 12 is. I've got it down as. Elephant Tree. Habits.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, yeah, Elephant Tree Habits. I've never really been an Elephant Tree fan.
As a way to say, I did not expect you to come out and say that.
But yeah, this album was great. It's like, I don't know how to describe Elephant Tree. They're kind of stonery, but way more melodic than, they're not just simply like stoner rock riffs. They're way more sort of melodic and like chilled out. But Habits was just great, man. Like the song Sales, I love.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's one of those bands where I found the latest album. It might have been on like a Spotify, like Discover Weekly, or it popped up on Spotify somewhere. I listened to, like, I think it was Sales, this song on this album,
Yeah.
and so saved the album, was listening through the album, and I was like, fuck me, like, this is a badass band. And then from there, I went through the whole back catalogue, and just, yeah, saved the whole back catalogue, and have just been making my way through it, and just been blissing out and loving it. It's been really good. Yeah, I don't know what their live show would be like, because it is quite chill. It's weird. It's like, they do have riffs, and it's stoner rock, but I don't know how that would translate. I don't know if it would be like, I mean, I imagine if the sound was massive, right? If the sound was like all
Yeah.
encompassing and just huge, then it would be fucking great. Kind of like a almost like a Russian Circles kind of vibe, although that's more
Mhm.
technical and stuff. But yeah, really good album.
I think
Recommend
they're
it.
on Art Tangent lineup for next year, off the top of my head. So,
Oh, sound.
providing that goes ahead, we might get to see it,
That would be sick.
which would be pretty cool.
That would be very cool. Right. So yeah, that was my number 12. So on to your number 12, right? No.
No, you didn't put all them witches in my bit.
So you're number
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, so my number 11 is Foxjaw.
Oh
The
right,
album's
okay,
called Royal Swan.
right.
Ooh.
See, Foxjaw are a band I haven't really got into yet.
Foxjaw are they're a bit of a weird band, to be honest with you, Glenn.
Right,
Um, they're very. I mean, yeah, they've got their roots in sort of the kind of math rock, hardcore sort of thing.
right,
Um, but then they also take roots from like a lot of emo stuff. So
Right.
you kind of like combine the two together. Royal Swan's a fantastic album though. It is a step up from their EPs and that they put out before, in my opinion.
right.
And the single Teething is fantastic. Highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Hmm.
But yeah, really, really strange, eclectic album. Lots of different kind of sounds on it. Lots of unique guitar work going on.
Right.
Strange vocal hooks on it. But yeah, it's really cool. And the artwork's amazing as well. Don't know if you want to get up there. I really like it.
Oh yeah, shit. The artwork. Let's have a look. Foxjaw. See, I've heard people talk about
Have
Foxjaw.
you went in the band? Have you heard any of their stuff?
Nah, nothing. It's a band that is just gone right past me. But I've heard of them, like a lot from a lot of different people, and they've always been one where I've been like, yeah, I'll get round to listening to that, and then just haven't for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, well, that's some fucking sick ass artwork. So it's like
really,
a swan being covered in gold or something.
that's what it looks like, yeah. But yeah, honestly, great wee album. I would recommend.
Yeah, very cool, very cool.
But it is a wee bit depressing, so heads up
Right.
if that's not your thing.
Okay. So that was your number 11. Right. My number 11 is from a band called where is my list? Intronaut.
Yeah.
Intronaut fluid is existential in existential inversions. Fluid existential inversions. This album's crazy, man. It's just pure craziness. It's yeah, this is probably the one where the one album I can't even describe. Intronaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mental. It's just crazy. First off, they just there's so much going on. Their album work is amazing. I'll get their album artwork up in a minute, but they basically just have like all these different sounds. Yeah, and they just it's basically one of those bands. You know how like some bands have all the shit at their disposal. They throw it all at the wall. They see what
Yep.
sticks. This band throw it all at the wall, but like it all sticks. It's just madness. It's just madness, and it can be jarring. Like you're listening to it and you're like you just get into it and then it changes and then you're like, what's going on now? And then it changes and then and then you're getting back into it. But it's definitely one of those albums you're gonna have to listen to it like 3 or 4 times to like, you know. But it's one of those ones as well that if you keep listening to it, you're gonna get more from it.
Yeah.
But it is just really fucking good. There's a song called Cubensis. Cubensis. I don't know how you're pronouncing it, but really fucking good song. I would recommend that one. There's the album artwork. It's very kind of weird because you could apply a lot of what if you were like someone who was super into art and you're going to talk about art and you have to critique that album artwork, you could apply like that critique to the music. Cause it's like, yeah, it's like all over the place, schizophrenic, like, yeah, lots of different shit going on, and yeah, it's crazy, but very heavy, very kind of progressive as well. Yeah, I can't even think of a band to say like if you're into this band, you might like them. They're yeah, fucking
I need to listen to more of this band. I've not heard enough of it yet.
yeah. I mean, Spotify says fans also like Pelican, Cult of Luna, Baroness.
Cool. So you're kinda
So it is kind of progressive,
progressive, post
yeah.
metal sort of stuff.
But see, I don't even agree with that. Like it's its own thing. But it is just a bit mental. But I love it because it is like you listen to it and it's just different every time you listen to it, sort of thing. But very good. So yeah, that's my fucking attempt at trying to review that album. It's still kind of blowing my mind. So if it sounds like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, it's probably because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about on that one. But yeah, it's high up there because it just blew me away with how weird it was and how much shit was going on. Yeah, so that's 20 to 10, mate. So now we start the top 10.
Awesome.
So I'll throw it back to you, mate.
Cool. Might actually get to talk about this one. It's by a Belgian rock band. Do you know any Belgian rock bands, Glenn?
No.
No.
Unless there's some I just don't know are from Belgium.
Maybe. The band's called the Guru Guru.
Oh, I've heard the name, the Guru Guru. I've heard that name.
And the album is Point Fingers.
Point Fingers.
Point
Right.
Fingers.
Let me get that up on the Spotify.
I got into this band through religiously trawling through all the Art Tangent bands on the lineup one year. And
That's
these guys
that's where I know it from.
These guys were on like one of the smaller stages playing in like the middle of the day Art Tangent or something. And I went and checked out their first album and I just fell in love with it. I thought it was excellent. So this is their second album, their follow-up album.
Point Fingers.
It is just big rock riffs.
Yeah.
Just hit you in the face.
Sound.
Really energetic. Lots of experimental stuff going on in it.
I love this album artwork. It's amazing. What
It's
the
so
fuck?
random.
It reminds me of that meme. It reminds me of that meme with the guy with the glasses. The It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Oh, yeah.
That guy in the mirror. That's great.
A little bit of funk in it as well. Like this album,
Nice.
it's from start to finish. It's so good, honestly. Highlight track should probably be Skidoo. Skidoo's really good.
Right.
Delaware and Mache probably be my standard tracks.
Nice.
Yeah, no, just big rock, big rock from Belgium. Honestly,
The
I
Guru
recommend.
Guru. Nice.
going a bit unique.
Oh wait, I've just put it in my list. That's wrong. So my number 10 is a
Mhm.
band I've never seen live, but I've had like 3 or 4 opportunities to see them live, but it's always fucked up for some reason. Like they've been supporting someone and I've been meaning to go to that gig and it's just not happened. And that band is I'm going to try and pronounce it right because I always pronounce it wrong. Clavellertack or Quevellertack. How do you say it?
Just Cavell Attack.
Quevellertack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that band. Name of the album, Splid. Holy fuck, man! This album is great. Did you hear this album?
I have heard this album. Yeah.
This album was so good, man. I didn't really. So this band, they're a Norwegian punk rock band.
Yeah.
And they lean into the sort of almost mythological kind of folky kind of vibe with their that's their theme, right? And like the guy, the frontman used to wear, I don't know if he does still, but he used to wear like an owl on his head when they played live.
Yeah. I think they've got a new frontman now. I don't think he does it anymore.
So he
It's
doesn't
old
do the old frontman. Oh, well, that's a
Yeah.
shame. But they still kind of have this folky kind of like vibe, like it's like it's like almost like Norwegian folklore that they've
Mhm.
brought into pop. It's not pop, punk rock, um, and it's just great. They sing in Norwegian, but it works. Like it's all catchy as hell. And this album was just really good. It's better than the previous album for me. The previous album, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, Natisford. Yeah, I didn't really rate that one. The
Nah,
last,
I don't like that album at all.
yeah, I didn't rate it. The one before that was great, but this one's like a return to form for me anyway. Splid. Great songs to check out are the first song, Rogaland. It's like it's just a great intro build up song. It gets you
Mhm.
pumped, and then it just keeps that going. With the second track is called Crack of Doom, and that features Troy Sanders from Mastodon. And again, it's just ace when you hear Troy Sanders like that Mastodon vocal like over another
Mm.
band's music.
Mhm.
And the album is like keeps up this fucking great string of songs. Like it dips maybe track 7 or 8. There's 11 tracks total. It kind of dips around there towards the end of the album, but the end of the album's great. Like the last song is good, and the standout sort of single is great. Bratebran. Again, all Norwegian, but you don't need to. I mean, it's the lyrics still like you can still get behind like the
Oh
vocal
yeah,
passages.
I could go and like recite you some of the lyrics from the first album. I've
Yeah.
got no idea what it means. But
Yeah.
I could sing on to it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say. It's still like
Yeah.
catchy, right? It's still catchy even though it's in a different language. It's kind of like Rammstein is catchy in German and you remember the German even though you don't
Yeah.
you not speak. It's like that kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Totally get you.
So yeah, that was my number 10. And like I was saying, I've never seen them live. At least I don't
Fun
think I
fact
have.
about that band. They've got 3 guitarists. Did you know that?
3 guitarists.
Yeah.
That's funny. 3 guitarists. I mean,
And when I saw them live, well, this is going back quite a few years now. It may be like 7 years ago, but
Mm.
it was a pretty fucking sick show.
yeah.
That was at Download. But I don't know. I've not really liked their output for the last couple albums. I mean, this one was better, but it's that first album is the one for me.
Mm.
I don't think anything's going to top that, Cabal Attack wise, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, the first album was great. I remember the first album. Yeah. So, you're number 9, is that? Are we on number 9 now? Yeah, number 9.
We were on number 9, yeah. So my number 9 is Venart in the Dead Wood.
Right. Venart.
Oh,
This
start with Venart.
this so I hadn't heard this album until, was it 2 days ago you sent it to me?
Yeah.
And it probably would be on my list if I had more time with it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you need a bit of time with this one.
it's not on my list simply because I've only listened to it. I've only listened to it once, and but listening to it once, it got like real high up in my sort of, albums that I had that were almost in the top 20. So that's saying a lot, I think, for me.
Yeah. So Venart is, well, it's Mike Venart.
Yeah.
Formerly of Ocean Size, who were really, really cool underground progressive rock bands in the UK over the last, over the noughties as opposed to the 2010s,
Yeah.
I guess. And this is his kind of solo project he's doing now. And it's his third album, I think. Third album is Venart? Pretty sure it is.
Mm.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like honestly, this album, it's so varied. You go from like big riffs in like the song Super Swift, which has got that kind of like almost Frank Carter kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Into just some like crazy post rock stuff, like there's heaps of piano on the album. Like, oh yeah, it's a journey, and it's one that I recommend everybody listens to. However, is not on Spotify or any streaming services.
I was about to say,
So
I-
it's a bit of a
Yeah.
bummer to try and get your hands on this one. It is on his Bandcamp though.
yeah. So I've just pulled up a picture of his previous album. That's his previous album because I'm streaming from Spotify, but yeah, I mean,
If you want to check out Venart and you don't want to go and buy an album, the first album, The Demon Joke, is probably the one to check out. I can't remember what's that one called that you've got up on the screen, Glenn? I can't remember the name of that one.
It is called "To Cure a Blizzard Upon a Plastic Sea."
Yeah, that is. I've never probably got into that one. It's
Yeah.
quite a difficult album to listen to. The Demon Joke it's good though. It's got some good tunes on it.
Yeah, so I just threw up the Demon Joke
yeah,
there.
yeah, that's a fantastic album. That one. That's what got me into him.
Um,
But yeah, just another great album from Venart. I mean,
When
yeah,
of
there's
the
all these little bands
Yeah.
and artists that are doing stuff in the UK, well, and Europe, I guess, with the Guru Guru, and nobody's fucking heard any of them, and it's such a goddamn shame because they're putting out way better stuff than what's going on in the mainstream at the minute. So
Yeah, for sure. And this guy, like, if you look on his Bandcamp, he credits everyone, but that helped him make it, like produce it and whatnot. But he has done he's done the music. It's his music, so it's like
Yeah.
coming from one dude. It's, you know, the vast majority of the like everything that you're hearing is great. And he was saying as well on his Twitter that he purposefully had it mixed, like how did he put it? Let's go on his Twitter because I'm gonna mince this. But he said that he had it mixed quieter on purpose, so that when you have it turned up loud, you get the full range. Let's see what he says here. Yeah.
that sounds like something Venart would do. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I'm trying to find it here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but he said that somewhere. When did
Well, I've also heard he's working on a grindcore album with Simon Neil from Biffy Clyro, so get hyped for that to come out at some point.
That's fucking great, man. Yeah, because they're real good friends. Because he played in Biffy as a session guitarist, right? I'm
Possibly.
pretty sure he did play in Biffy as a session guitarist after.
I know, like when Biffy were just coming up, they went out and toured with Oceanside a lot. So
Yeah,
and they were the kind of two underground
yeah,
rocky bands, I guess, at that time. So they
yeah,
were good
for
friends.
sure. This is what he said, by the way. He says, "This record is mastered quieter than most modern rock records, so to enjoy its full dynamic range, turn it up." So yeah, it was on purpose, you know, mastered quieter, which I find interesting. I don't really, I don't know much about mastering, so that's kind of interesting to me that it's, you know, on purpose quieter. I've never really heard that of a band making it quieter on purpose, you know, because I mean when you listen
Maybe
to
something like A. Williams, Forever Blue.
yeah,
What I mentioned earlier, that would definitely be in the same sort of league as
because I know
Venart.
that when you listen to bands on Spotify, at least Spotify will it has a feature that's on by default, I believe, where it makes all the
normalizes the
audio.
sound.
Yeah, it
Audio.
normalizes the volume and so it's all coming at you at this. So you're not like listening to something that's super loud and then the next album's quiet. It's all the same. So I'm not sure if that is, you know, if that's
Maybe that's gotten butthurt and that's why he's not going
maybe
to
might be part of it. Yeah. But yeah,
it's more the money reason.
money. Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
He's got his album up there and he's not making any money off it, you know.
For
That's
sure.
the point.
But like I've the tracks on it were great. Like Super Sleuth was awesome.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's a highlight definitely.
and the last two tracks, Morning on the Range, I really liked, and then Fork in the Road. It's like a 12-minute track.
Yeah, flawless.
It was great. Like again, like I said, this would have maybe been higher for me if I'd had it. You know, if
Had a
I'd
bit longer.
a bit longer, maybe. Yeah. Right, so that was your number 9.
That was my number 9.
Sound.
yours?
My number 9 is another British band,
Oh,
a punk band.
okay.
They don't like the Tories.
Okay.
Any guesses?
Fuck, dude, I'm drawing a blank.
Idols.
That could be any punk band.
I know. Idols. Ultra Mono.
Well, just hold your tongue on that one, mate, because we'll come back to that one later.
Oh, right. Cool. Excited to talk about that one because
Yeah.
I've always been I've always been like on the fringe of like really liking Idols. Like I've always kind of been like, yeah, that's sound, but never really fully jumped in and been like I wouldn't call myself like a Idols fanboy. This album has changed that. So excited to talk about that one. Right, so right back to you, mate, for your number 8.
Wow, my number 8 is The Fall of Troy.
Right.
Murkeltierth. I think
I-
that's how you say that.
I have not heard this album.
Oh, dude. This album's great.
What is it?
Do you know who The Fall of Troy are?
I've heard the name, I haven't heard the music.
So they're a mathcore band.
Right.
Were mainly predominant in like the mid noughties, like between 2005 2010 sort of era.
Right.
This album is, I don't know, it's kind of a cheat, right? Because the first 6 songs in this album were written when the band were still in high school.
Right.
And then they've chopped on 4 songs at the end that they've kind of like written now, right?
Right.
On saying that, the album's great. It flows so well. And
The
you'd think
artwork
there'd
looks
be quite a
crazy.
contrast. Oh yeah, they're a crazy band, man. They're like super. I don't know if you'll have heard one of their songs, because the reason I got into this band was one of their tracks was on Guitar Hero 3.
Right.
MCPREMIX.
Right.
Don't know if you remember that. Maybe
Not
that's
sh-
just me.
Yeah,
nerding
not,
out Guitar
not
Hero.
sure. Can't really
Um,
remember much Guitar Hero.
Ah. But yeah, so this band, like, highly technical. They're a 3-piece. So like the guitarist does all the singing and screaming as well.
Right.
And there's just some points in this music, and you're just like, how is he playing that on guitar, and screaming, and then singing 2 seconds later? It's
Right.
dude, it's quite a mindfuck.
Right.
Especially the first 6 songs, because there's like the really early material.
Yeah.
But wow, like honestly, if there's an album that's gonna get you into this band, this is the one to listen to, in my opinion.
Right. Okay.
I'm on the fence whether this is their best album or not. I can't decide. But it's they're definitely in their top 2 albums.
I'm loving the album artwork. I feel like
Oh, dude, if
you
you
know,
like the album artwork, you're gonna like the band.
I feel like
um,
the album artwork would lend itself so fucking epically to tour poster.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
can see that like on a tour poster. You know what do you call them posters that have like the film, the metal like film through it, the cellugraph or something? Like Frank Carter does
yeah,
one.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've got one on my wall. I don't know what it's called though.
It looks like it could be a badass bit of art. So yeah, I'm interested. I've given that a save on my Spotify.
Oh yeah, definitely. I highly recommend going into that. I know you're not a big fan of the whole mathcore thing, but definitely go into it. And if you just want a couple songs to check out, Chain Wallet, Night Shoes is really good.
Right.
Mirrors Are More Fun Than Television is also pretty good. It's more chilled out, that one.
Right.
And then out of the newer ones, probably check out Roundhouse.
Okay.
It is a banger of a song.
Well, I like early Biffy. Is it anything like early Biffy?
This is more extreme than earlier Biffy. This is more metal,
Right.
and this is more rar rar rar.
Right. Okay.
Where they're screaming.
Right.
So if you like early Biffy, the chances are you might like this. But
Hmm. Okay. Well, sound. Let's have a look then. at my list. So number 8
Up
for
next.
me. Ah, oh, I've been hyped to talk about this, mate. We're getting so on my list now. We're getting into the point where like from here to number 1, fucking just bangers. Just like I reckon like from well probably idols as well. So for me anyway. So for see like my list, my top 20 from
Yeah.
number 9 for me. So idols onwards, like any like like any of these could be number 1. Like on like a let's say a like an off year for music. On an
Yeah.
off year for music, any of these could have been number 1.
Oh
like,
yeah, like I'm the same from my number 10 onwards.
yeah.
Exactly the same.
Like these are just great, and this one is another hardcore album that is amazing. Like this, holy fuck, man! This I need to see this band live. The bands are called End, and the name of the album is Splinters from an Ever-Changing Face. And
I don't know this.
this will melt the skin from your face. This is amazing. This is just so good. End. They are a super group of sorts. They well, I mean, yeah. If you want to be technical, they are a super group. Although, I mean, I don't know. Super group's kind of a weird term nowadays. I think, especially because they're a hardcore band. Because I feel like a lot of people in hardcore, they're collaborating with multiple different people like all the time. But yeah, I mean, I guess they are a super group. So the vocalist is Brendan Murphy from Counterparts. They've got a guitarist, Will Putney, who is like famous for like producing. I think Will Putney's produced like a heap of shit. But also a guitarist in Fit for an Autopsy. You've got Gregory Thomas, who's like Misery Signals, and you've got like the drummer used to be in Structures. So they've all been around,
Yeah.
but this is just epic. Like this is their debut album, their debut release. Was an EP back in 2017, which I fucking loved. It was epic, and ever since then I've been like hyped for an album. So their album artwork is brutal as well. Like I'll quickly throw up the EP from 2017 because it's just uncomfortable to look at. Like that's it there if you can see it. That was the EP artwork from 2017. So it's like a disfigured face, like a nun, and then going to the album artwork. It's kind of almost similar in that it's another messed up face, but it's a good piece of album artwork because it's kind of almost scary and the music's scary. Like
It's terrifying.
it's proper blistering like heavy hardcore goodness. Like it's extreme hardcore. Like it's spin kick inducing, mate. It's just fucking ace.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
really good production. Like amazing, clear production. Considering like it's an extreme hardcore album, and there's a lot going on. You can like the guitars are still sounding huge. Like because there was bits in the EP where it was almost sounding a bit muddy, but they've tightened that up and made it clearer. So the production's really really good, and yeah, just great. It's not too long. Obviously, it's a hardcore record. So yeah, it doesn't come in
For
very
fans
long. Sorry, say again.
Like for fans of like who's kind of similar to them?
Oh, I don't know.
Anybody?
Heavy hardcore. So I mean I would say they're like, so the other hardcore on my list, I mean it's heavier than Higher Power for sure. It's heavier than Gulch. Yeah, I don't know. Fans of like Jesus Peace, Spotify saying
Okay.
But I don't think it's much like Jesus Peace. It's yeah, it's just really, really fucking heavy.
I'll need to check that out, man.
Really heavy,
Definitely.
but really,
Yeah.
really great. Like this, yeah. Like there, of the bands on my list, um, Ender probably arguably number one for band I most want to see live, because I just feel like their live show is just gonna be insane, like like huge, yeah, really good. So that's my number. What was it? Number eight. Number eight for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but
So back to you for number seven.
oh, my number seven is your number nine, Glenn, which is Idols of Germana.
Oh, yes. Good shit, man. Epic.
Um, where'd you start with this album?
I know,
Like,
right?
honestly, um, the whole thing is a banger.
Yeah, for sure. And
Um,
like I was saying to you, this is the first one where I've been like, right, that's it. I'm an Idols fan. Like,
do you prefer this over to Joy's an Act of Resistance?
well, the thing is, I don't know, because, like I was saying, I was always kind of on the fringe of Idols. Like I'd listen to it and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I'd never really gone like fully in. But with this one, like I love it, right? So I feel like now I might go back and properly get into the back catalogue. So
Mm,
it's definitely not the case that I prefer this one to the previous
right.
ones. It's more the case of I only really touched upon them before. Now with this one, like yeah, I love it. So it's probably just as simple as I've listened to this one more than the previous releases.
So yeah, if you don't know who Idols are, um, how can you not know who Idols are at this point? But um, they are a full-on punk band. Um, with they're highly politically motivated.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
almost all their songs touch on politics or current issues of some
Yeah,
description. Like we're ranging from like talking about war, um, modern social political climate, class struggle, mental health. Yeah, you name it. Idols probably talk about it.
yep. And they have like the way that almost the vocalist is, it's almost like spoken word. Some of the songs,
Hmm.
um, it's like yeah, but it's angry. It's really it's like
Oh, it's very angry.
it's not just frantic though. It's directed anger. It's purposeful. It's like he is fucking out for blood. You're gonna fucking listen to this guy. You're gonna listen to his politics. Fuck the Tories. It's
Yeah,
great. I fucking
yeah.
love it. It's so good.
I'm surprised Boris Johnson isn't on that fucking cover of that album.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie.
It's
Um,
fucking great.
the standout tracks for me in this would be Mr. Motivator, which I think is
Mm.
just an instant classic.
Yeah,
Kill 'Em with Kindness is amazing.
kill him kindness. Yeah,
Um,
I liked I liked carcinogenic
good
because
dance, good.
it's like
Yeah.
carcinogenic is, it's very kind of dark. I think that's the one where it's like you only live once, so like you better have fun or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking great. Like I love all the songs. Like,
The
and
lyrics in Model Village are just hilarious.
yeah, yeah,
Like, especially living in Stonehaven. It's quite funny.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
Oh, why I Stuart in the chat saying Pariah. Yeah, Pariah, man. Pariah was a track from the End album.
right, okay.
That's probably to quickly go back to that. That's probably like the track you need to listen to, man, to get to start you off. Pariah,
Cool,
fucking ace.
cool.
But yeah, fucking Idols, man. Fucking so good. And I've never seen them live, and I just imagine it's a good time.
Yeah, I've not seen them live. They're on my list to see.
Cause you know you're gonna see them, right? And everyone in the crowd's just like the same sort of political leanings, because nobody's going to a fucking idol show that's like
Well, I'm not as convinced about that as you are,
right. Okay.
because I think a lot idol style of music gets a lot of people on board that don't really listen to much rock and metal, Glenn. So I
Well,
think it's
yeah.
like a lot of people that listen to Oasis also coming in to listen to idols.
Right.
As much as I hate to say it, and it might not click with them.
Right.
Some of these songs are about right away.
Right.
It might
Yeah.
click with them in the live setting,
Hmm.
but if you're just like sitting along with Spotify and this pops up after you've listened to your fucking third Oasis album, I don't know. I could understand why you might not realize what it is. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh, this sounds cool.
Yeah,
what I
yeah. I hear what you're saying. Definitely from a musical, just sonically listening to the actual
Yeah.
music, like it's gonna
And I think that's what makes it even funnier.
yeah. That's kind of
So-
like whenever you hear like folk and Architects, like the band members and Architects, or even Lamb of God, like they're sharing political opinions on Twitter or something, and then like all these or Rage Against the Machine is an even better example.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people in the Rage Against the Machine social media are like, oh, why'd you have to make everything political? And then like Tom Morello was like, what the fuck are you talking about, mate? Have you listened to any of my music that I have ever released? It's like I feel like that's potentially happening with idols. Yeah, like because sonically it's going to bring a lot of fans in from everywhere, but then lyrically it is very well.
It's polarizing.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it is, and it's very in your face. And if you don't want to hear what this band have to say, well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna hear it anyway because
Yeah,
it's so loud.
yeah, for sure. It's definitely an album as well that is really catchy. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
any of I'm trying to think. There's no real standout single for me because any of them,
Standout single for me is Mr. Motivator.
but like any of them could be a single, like really good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just really want to see them live. Really want to see them
Going
live.
back to my first question to you about this album, I asked you if you preferred their previous album, Joy's Answer to Resistance, to this one. You didn't really know, because you not like proper went back into it.
Yeah.
I've been so on the fence about this. I've been like going back and forth, swaying back and forth. I was like, oh, one day it's Ultramono, next day it's Joy's Answer to Resistance. I think I've settled on Joy's Answer to Resistance is better though.
Right.
It just feels more raw,
Right.
I guess.
Again,
This
yeah.
feels a bit more produced. I don't know if that's the right words to use, but
Again, I still need to go back, I think, and
yeah,
and
you're gonna have
re-listen.
such good fun when you go back to listen to that stuff, man.
Yeah, because I think it's
Honestly.
been a few years since I last properly gave Idols a go, like before Ultra Mono. So I think when I go back now, it's gonna hit different.
Yeah.
Um,
Brutalism and Joy's Answer to Resistance are both fantastic albums.
Yeah. But this one was great, really good. So right, my number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look. My number 7 is Bleed From Within. Fracture. I can't help but love it. It is fucking great. It's my favorite bands are Lamb of God, Pantera, Deftones, but not really Deftones, but the Lamb of God and Pantera side of it, the groove metal. This is just a groove metal album, man. It's a groove metal album with a modern production, and it has that from the vocalist Scott Kennedy has that kind of Parkway Drive, and it has the Architects kind of vibe throughout as well, and it's just great. Like I love it. It's I think it's probably their best one. It's probably I would say their best album. I didn't really rate Bleed From Within back in the day, like Uprising and then they had their big break.
Uprising was one for me.
See, I didn't see Uprising was cool, and I liked it. I think that was 2013, 2012, 2013 or something. And then they had a big,
Yeah, it's
then they had, yeah, they had their big break for a few years, and then they came back, with their comeback album, and then this one. But I think this one right here is the one for me. Like, I just love it. Like, I love all the songs. I love the production. I love the riffs. The riffs are just great, and I feel like they should be bigger than they are. Yeah, I mean, obviously they had that big gap in their career, which would have no doubt kind of, kind of prolonged any sort of, you know, getting any big live performances going.
Well, I mean, they did go out on tour. They were on a big tour round about when Uprising was out, were they not? Because they were out on tour with like Amon Amarth.
Yeah. But like,
Was
I
it
just
Walker?
mean like they should be like they have the potential to be like headline and second stage on a download. They have that potential, but I feel like
I think that's come and gone, to be honest.
well, I don't know about come and gone. Like I feel like they would have if they didn't have that big break in their career, they might have had that quicker. But they can still get there. I think. Like they like this is a phenomenal album. This is arguably you could call this like. Yeah, definitely. Arguably, you could call this the best straight metal album of the year, and you wouldn't be like mental to say that. It's just a really good polished album. If anything, my only criticism of it is it's maybe a little too polished. It's like it is missing some rawness to it.
Right.
That would be my only sort of complaint because. It's really really good, but it's just getting to that point where it's almost it's all because you don't want, at least in my opinion, you don't want a groove metal album to be the cleanest thing. Like it has to have some like dirt and grit and some fuzz
Yeah.
in it,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and it's just missing a little bit of that for me. But you know, some bands like doing the whole like super clean production, and I mean this thing was it mixed and mastered by Nolly? I'm pretty sure, at least if it wasn't mixed and mastered by Nolly, it was certainly recorded at Nolly's studio. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Let me just fact check that real quick, but it's really good, and I love the riffs, and they're super nice dudes as well. Like obviously, I live in Glasgow. They're a Glaswegian band. Whenever you bump into them at Catty, like they're super genuine dudes, and yeah, and
Yeah, fair play to them.
like they're still like even after having like that big break and having lineup changes, they're still like fucking slugging away there. You know, they're still going for it. So yeah, so production, yeah. Well, it says here that the production, at least the mixing and the drums were engineered by Nolly.
Oh, okay.
The mastering was done by a guy, Ermin Hamidovich. I'm not sure who he is. And Stephen Jones, the guitarist, engineered the vocals and the guitars, and it says that they were involved in much of the production themselves. So from that point of view, fucking great, like really good. And I love the artwork once again. The bassist David Proven, he does all the artwork. He did the artwork for the previous release as well, Era, and this artwork is cool as well. So I think I'm just there's a bit of not favoritism, but kind of they're Scottish, they're from Glasgow, you know. I kind of want to see them go far. And they fucking do groove metal music, you know, which is my fucking thing. It's my jam. So it's kind of great. Yeah, I just hope they get some more like big slots. Like after this whole pandemic fades out and all that shit, it would be fucking cool to see them getting some bigger slots at some festivals. I missed their live stream. Apparently their live stream was really good. Production looked cool. So they're definitely like putting in the work on all fronts.
Oh.
Yeah, Bleed From
That's good
Within.
to hear. That's good to hear. I think I've kind of checked out that whole metalcore.
Yeah, the genre in
stuff
general.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only a couple bands left that I kind of like.
Like I was saying, like it
I don't
is.
meant against Bleed From Within. I
Yeah.
used to love them back in the day, and always a killer wide band. So fair play to the guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, like I just feel like if it brought back some of that rawness, and was less like polished,
Yeah.
production side of it things, that would sort of that has the potential to you know, set them apart from your other bands and that sort of metalcore, that like it's not metalcore anymore, but like that new style of metalcore that's kind of it's so saturated and it's so like samey a lot of the time, you know, like you can go from band to band in that modern
It all sounds the
metalcore
same.
and it sounds the same, yeah. So but I really like this one. I just hope like the next, kind of almost like Lamb of God's Sacrament was super polished, and then their next one was Wrath, where it was like more raw. Like I'm hoping the next one's like more raw, and you can hear a bit more, you know, fuzz and like more imperfections coming through on the mix.
Yeah.
So your number 6, mate.
My number 6. We're going back to hip hop, dude.
Sick.
Run the Jewels, RTJ4.
Ace. I knew this was coming at some point. I really like the album, but again with the whole Venart thing, I've not had it in me till like very recently, but I can definitely appreciate it for sure. Very good.
I'm not confident to sit and speak in here about hip hop music because I don't know that much about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. This album has got some great beats. It's got some really, really cool stuff going on with instrumentals behind the rapping.
Right.
They've got people on there like Josh Homme's on it. Who else features on this album? Let me find out. Zach De La Roche,
Yes.
Pharrell
Like,
Williams.
dude, when I heard Zach
I
come
mean, 2
in,
Chainz is on it as well, but it's a bit out of a remit.
I heard Zach come in, man. I was just like, oh, please come
Yeah.
out of hiding, man. Come out of hiding. I mean,
Uh,
is he doing anything on his own, some music wise?
Is that De La Roche? I'm not sure, dude. I think he's doing something. Is he?
I mean, I just have this forever want that Rage are gonna be back and gonna be doing fucking epic Rage Against Machine, which it's probably never gonna happen. I mean, they're probably only ever gonna come back in a live you know, sort of capacity, and yeah, whenever you hear that guy fucking start going at it on the mic, you're just like, fucking, I will follow you into fucking whatever revolution. You know, you just say it, Zach, and I'm there for the revolution. You know, it's fucking ace.
So like again, like what I'd kind of done with Zeon Order earlier on. I want to read you out some lyrics. 'Cause
Alright.
it sums up the album way more than I could hope to do, basically. So I'm just gonna read you a little verse here from the song "Walking in the Snow."
Right.
It goes like this: They promise education, but really they give you tests and scores, and they be predicting prison populations by who's scoring the lowest. And usually the lowest scorers, the poorest, and they look like me. And every day on the evening news, they feed your fear for free. And you so numb, you watch the cops choke out a man like me, until my voice goes from a shriek to a whisper, I can't breathe. And you sit there in the house or on a couch and watch it on TV. The most you give is a Twitter rant and call it a tragedy.
Fuck yeah.
I just thought that was brilliant. And I also want to point out that was written before what had happened.
Yeah, because the album came out like was it like not like a few days after the George Floyd thing?
It was literally like a week after or something it came out, I think. And when you've got this guy Killer Mike,
Right.
who's
Yeah.
written this lyric, and he's probably written it months and months before that had happened,
Yeah.
and it just made it hit home, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it like it was so timely, and I think that's just sort of testament to how on point their songwriting and politics and the whole putting a spotlight on the issues they bring up. You know, it is. You know, it's like they're not. It's just evidence of the fact that they're not trying to make a quick buck from, you know, tragedies that have happened. You know, they're genuine. You know.
Yeah. Like that verse ends with like this line: "All of us serve the same masters. All of us nothing but slaves. Never forget the story of Jesus, the heroes killed by the state."
Right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, these guys they like to sing about guns and a bit of violence, and they'll like have their like alternative egos on the album, and some of their songs are more aimed towards like more
Right.
gangster stuff. But then they're also pulling out lyrics like that, and you're just like, that, you know,
For sure.
that's,
Yeah.
that's some crazy lyrics, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I love the artwork as well. I don't really quite get it. Is it supposed to be like a gang sign going to a fist?
I'm not sure because all their albums like have something similar to that, where it's like, you know, somebody making a gun shape and somebody making a fish shape. But
Right.
it's done in like a different design.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know where that comes from, dude.
Right.
We just have to ask around the jewels.
But it's fucking cool, and I wonder what their live show would be like. You know.
you know, I think they could play it download main stage.
Really.
Chuck them on, yeah.
I don't know about main stage.
On the back of this album, yeah.
I could definitely see them on like definitely see them playing download, but I just don't know. I don't know about main stage. But
Well, dude, they have to be main stage. They're quite big.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I could definitely see them in a tent or second stage. That would be sick. I just don't know if
they
they would.
played right in Leeds, I reckon they'd be on. Oh yeah, sure, it's on the Sport Queens of Stone Age.
Yeah, Queens of Stone Age in London. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Whole crowd went wild. Yeah, I can
think they'd
I
be
can
fucking
imagine.
awesome live.
Yeah, I can imagine them being fucking sick live. Yeah, it's just I've never seen them, and I've never really gone in for their back catalogue. But this album, like I said,
I would recommend it.
yeah, I want to get
That one's good.
yeah, I want to get back into it, like get properly into it and see what's happening with it. Like that Zach song, just the Zach song alone. But I was kind of disappointed that he only comes in like the last like third of the song. Like I was wanting him to come in like on like just fucking at the start. But yeah, really good. Really good messages and stuff. Cool. So that was your number 6. So
Yeah, which is-
my number 6 is carrying on what I was talking about with Bleed From Within, really, in that we were talking about the the sort of the state of modern metal and sounding, it falls into the trap of sounding samey. But this album is great and I think surpasses that criticism, and that is Sylosis, Cycle of Suffering. This album was huge, and
I think I just kind of forgot about this one, to be
yeah,
honest.
it came out at this kind of near the start of the year, and it was fucking great, man. Really, really good. Huge album, and it's funny because I've just realised that number 6 on my list, Bleed From Within and Sylosis, Ali Richardson is the drummer in both bands. So shout out Ali. Fucking badass year for him. Yeah, fucking great album, man. Josh, from Sylosis, he's also now in Architects. So he's got Architects and Sylosis on the go. And I know that when he joined Architects to help out, because Tom Seal passed away, R.I.P. There was a lot of people that were kind of frustrated. A lot of Sylosis fans were frustrated because they were dying for a new album, and then he had been in Architects for a number of years, and
and there was, I think he'd been keeping Silosis quiet. I don't really know the whole story, but a lot of fans were speculating, are Silosis going to come back? What are when's it going to happen, sort of thing. Is Josh kind of forgotten about it? But pardon me, but that kind of built up all this expectation, I think, but in hype, almost like a Tool album, kind of. Well, not as big as that, but that kind of like hype and when's it going to happen sort of thing, and it delivered for me. Like, it's just fucking ace. Like, it's
a good album.
It's really good, really technical, solid production. The drums are ace. I love the drums in this album. Really fucking good. There's lots of bits where the drums could just do like a simple pattern, but they're not. So I appreciate that the drums are just like on point throughout the whole thing. And let me pick up the artwork here. And some standout tracks, but really good. And I'm trying to think if I've seen them live. Silosis, I'm sure I've seen them live supporting someone. At the O2 maybe? No. Definitely seen them live somewhere, but can't think off the top of my head right now. But I Sever is probably your go-to. I Sever, and then Calcified's great, and then it's a great album in terms of it doesn't have any dips for me. It's like great. It's great start to finish. The artwork's sick. Like, if they did a tour poster, I'd be buying that shit with that kind of artwork. Yeah, it's just a great metal album. Yeah, great. And like Bleed From Within, I feel like those two are like, along with Architects, they're kind of the top metal bands in the UK right now.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you, to be honest.
Yeah, it's fucking great. So, moving on, we're now at the top 5, I believe.
We are in top 5.
Top 5, fuck yes.
I want to preface this just say, like, all my albums from now to number 1, they've all been my number 1 throughout the year.
At different points.
Just changing about like all the time. So like my last 5 albums are just they're all flawless.
Ace.
Anyway, number 5 is Gold Key, Panic Machine.
Ah, Gold Key. I remember you putting me on to Gold Key a few years ago now, but this album I haven't listened to actually.
You not heard this?
Not heard this one.
Dude.
Gold Key.
Yeah. What an album.
Yeah, the one in 2017, Hello Phantom, I listened to that one, but I haven't heard this Panic Machine one.
So, Panic Machine is like Hello Phantom, but it's just better in every way.
All right. Okay.
It's honestly amazing. Big guitars. Very, very progressive. Lots of proggy elements throughout all the songs.
Right.
So you've got your they've got like kind of bigger rock songs like Don't Sleep in Sweet Darkness.
Right.
And you've got the kind of more progressive stuff, which is almost kind of like, I don't know, it's got like kind of like late 80s, 90s vibes and like Trick of the Light and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
Vocals throughout the album are very reminiscent of Radiohead.
Right.
Yeah, like honestly, just from start to finish, this album, it's so good.
Did we see them around about the same time as Black Peaks?
We saw Gold Key.
It was Bosk.
Supporting Bosk and Black Peaks.
Yes, I fucking remember that gig was insane. That gig was fucking ace. That's probably one of the best gigs of recent years for me. Yeah, but
I didn't rate them that much live.
Yeah, I'm the
I was
same.
a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, I was the same. I remember Bosk being amazing and Black Peaks being amazing and Gold Key being kind of, all right, live.
Yeah, this album it's so good. I mean, it's got members from Gallows, Sixth, or former Sixth members, Bycatcher, Milk Teeth. I mean, it's almost like a little supergroup in inverted commas, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, cannot recommend this enough.
Yeah.
Genuinely,
Sick.
fantastic.
Well, my number 5 is Biffy fucking Clyro.
Ah, well, you'll come back to that one later.
All right, okay. Oh, well, that's fucking cool that we both have Biffy fairly fucking high. That's very
Yeah.
fucking cool. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll come back to that one then. Number 4 for yourself.
It's Deftones. Holmes.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. You'll be coming back to that one. Hold on. Let me update. Deftones Ohms.
I got too fast. For going
That's
too fast.
crazy, man. That Deftones is at your number 4.
Yeah, I know. No,
That's like a testament to how fucking crazy this year's been.
that's crazy that Biffy Clyro's at your number 5, mate. Oh,
Like I said, my like my top 9, I think it's like just insane. Right, so your number 4 was Deftones. Here we go. Oh, Deftones Ohms only has the 1H, does it?
possibly. I don't know. I think you're right, actually.
Wait, have I copied it in with 2 H's? What have I done? Ah, there we go. Okay.
What's your number 4, Glenn?
My number 4 is Lamb of God. Lamb of God.
Surprise, surprise.
Lamb of God, self-titled, and Lamb of God. Right. So here's the thing, right? Lamb of God and Deftones are like my 2 favorite bands of all time,
Yeah.
right? And the reason that they're both kind of my favorite band is that they're too different musically to really pit them against each other and say like, and I love them both equally, you know. So for Deftones and Lamb of God to come out in the same year, you know, for them to come out in the same year is crazy to me. And they both were fucking ace. And like, but here's the thing: Lamb of God's not number 1 because there was other crazy albums that came out of left field for me. That's why they're not number 1 or number 2. But this Lamb of God album I fucking loved. Like, it was a return to form for me anyway for Lamb of God. Lamb of God have always put out fucking great albums. They've obviously had better albums than they've had like kind of weaker ones as well. But like sort of Resolution and Sturm und Drang, the previous 2,
Yeah.
they were great albums, but they weren't sort of classic Lamb of God. You know, when people say like, what's the last great Lamb of God album, a lot of people will go, oh, that's Wrath or that's Sacrament, and then
Yeah.
like the ultra fanboys will be like, nah, they haven't done anything good since Palaces, you know. I love all the albums, but this new one was a return to form in that it was just like I think previously Lamb of God had been exploring other things, right? They'd been exploring different sounds. They'd got kind of fed up with the pigeonhole that they're just like a one-trick pony, you know, with the riffs on the bottom string, and they're just simple groove, and their songs are the same sort of thing. So they tried this. They tried this whole thing with Resolution, where they did like a shit ton of different sounds. They did more punky stuff. They had that final track with the opera singer, and they had like a load of different shit going on. They kind of continued that into Sturm und Drang, which I loved. They even had the fucking collab with Chino on that, where Chino sang on Echoes, is it?
Yeah.
Still
I remember
Echo?
that track.
No, not still Echoes. I don't know. I'm forgetting the name of the track that Chino's on.
I know the one you're speaking about.
Embers. He's on Embers,
That's the one. Yeah.
and that blew me away because I was like, what the fuck? Chino's singing on a Lamb of God track, like what? So, you know, they've been trying different things, but this album is the first album they've done where they've not had Chris Adler on drums. So a lot of people were kind of a bit worried, kind of waiting to see what it was going to be like, if it was going to be any different. Spoiler alert, not any different. It's Lamb of God. But the thing is, when you love Lamb of God as much as I love Lamb of God, and Lamb of God put out an album where it's, you know, kind of predictable, it's still fucking amazing. Like, I don't need, like, it's great for them to explore their different sounds and, you know, do different things with their music, but see, when Lamb of God do Lamb of God, they do it amazingly. Like, when they do the groove metal and the catchy kind of, like, Randy's great at doing the catchy vocals. There's no one else that can match them doing that. And they are, like, just the most badass live band. And yeah, great
They're
album.
definitely up there. Genuinely, like, what a live band.
Like, yeah, like, you can be so on a Lamb of God album, but you can never be so on a Lamb of God live show.
Yeah,
Like,
agreed.
So I mean, in this album, like, I was to pick out tracks, I love Memento Mori, I love New Colossal Hate. Resurrection Man's really cool. That's a cool one. That's kind of different. It's got Randy doing some, like, almost sort of like spoken word, that kind of like little, like, he has a really gravelly kind of tone just when he speaks. But yeah, great album. Yeah, that's Lamb of God. Surprise, surprise. For people who know me, they knew Lamb of God would be up there.
I liked it. I liked the album. I thought it was good. I just think, I don't know. I've got enough Lamb of God now. Do I need more Lamb of God?
You always need more Lamb of God, mate.
I don't know if I do, man. I think I got all the Lamb of God I need at this point. Like, a new Lamb of God album doesn't excite me anymore, because I know it's going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's going to be Lamb of God, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Stuart's just sitting there in the chat, wonder what will happen to their tour, because Power Trip were supposed to be opening.
Shit.
Yeah, no, R.I.P. Riley Gale. Fucking
Yeah.
Power Trip, man. I'm so unbelievably gutted about that. And doubly sad because I'll never get the chance to see them with Riley Gale, because I did have that chance when you saw
didn't
them.
Take it.
Well, I got kind of screwed over by work, but
Oh yeah, so you did. Yeah.
but you know, I should have made every effort to get to that. But that's the thing about live shows, man. Like, that's why you can't miss shit sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to make every effort. If you
Never
love,
know what's gonna happen.
exactly, like, it's life in general, but with live shows, you need to, if you're into them as much as we are, and you just fucking, you gotta make it happen, you know. And I'm gutted, but I hope Power Trip still can go forward, whether it be with you know, a new vocalist, or if they do some sort of, like, guest vocalist type of deal for a bit, or maybe they have a few different vocalists or something.
I definitely hope they continue.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. Because they were just, the thing is, they've been going for a while, like a good while, but I feel like they just broke kind of,
Yeah,
like,
they were
the
just
metal.
building up momentum.
Yeah, the metal mainstream, if
Yeah.
you like. They just broke it. But, like, you know, Executioner's Axe, man, like, that is top tier metal. You know, like, that is, like, and the crazy thing as well is they're bridging the gap between, like, the sort of the new sort of metal sound or production with, like, the old metal
80s
sound,
thrash.
the 80s thrash, and it's just like no one else is doing it like Power Trip. But yeah, special shout out to Power Trip, and their last album was the Balls, and I hope they continue. But yeah, Lamb of God was my number 4, and I hope the Power Trip still support Lamb of God on the tour.
Yeah, fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah,
Whenever it happens.
whenever it happens. Fucking top 3, man. Top fucking 3.
Where to start here then? Number 3. Code Orange underneath.
Fuck yes, man. So I had Code Orange down at 15. And
Unacceptable.
so let me just
Go up like at least 10 places.
let me just say, like, I really like Code Orange, and I feel like we both kind of found them a similar time. I mean, you might have even put me onto them, but it was back before their debut was out. I'm pretty sure, or no, not their debut, their second album. It was just before Forever came out, I think.
Yeah, I got into them on Forever.
Yeah, so just before Forever, you were like, "Yo, check this band out," and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I didn't have immediately a positive reaction because it took me a while to get into you know what I think it is? I think it's the way it's mixed, the way they use the glitching effect and the industrial effects. Yeah, it
just hits you.
It hits you, and like the thing is, if you're not a person who has listened to much old school Nine Inch Nails or electronic music, or
you're gonna find that jarring.
You're gonna find it jarring, yeah, for sure. And it's still to this day not my thing, and so by me saying that whole industrial like glitching, like that whole vibe is not my thing, me saying that and then putting them at number 15 on my list is just testament to how fucking good the rest of it is, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so you have it at number 3, which is kind of no surprise to me because I know how much you love it.
It is, it's a phenomenal album. Like,
yeah.
The production value is so high. I don't know, like everything on it sounds super crisp.
Yeah.
At the same time, super crushingly heavy. It's got these like what you were talking about, glitchy parts all over the record.
Yeah.
That will just like randomly come in.
Yeah, for sure.
They were doing it like they've done that before on Forever.
Yeah.
But they've taken it to new levels on this.
Yeah, for sure.
Jamie's vocals are great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because like he's not like he used to be the drummer and do vocals.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
Yeah.
he's just on vocals now. I don't know who the new drummer is.
I don't.
Jamie's recorded the drums.
I'm the same, man.
Sound huge. I'm not sure.
I'm the same, man. I don't know because I remember watching like live videos of them where you would see what you're saying, the drummer with a mic, and I thought that was interesting, but maybe they've taken the decision that because he's doing the main sort of work with the vocals, they're putting him in more of a frontman sort of position, which maybe is going to translate better live. But what I really liked about the album was, I think I prefer Code Orange more when they're doing the kind of
sing-along stuff.
When Reba, the guitarist, when she comes in with her like her vocals are ace, and when they do the more melodic stuff, a la Bleeding in the Blur from the previous album, that kind of vibe, fucking love that shit.
Sulfur Surrounding, and this one.
Yeah.
Would probably be the big one that she's got, and you're just like, wow.
And Stuart's saying it will be interesting to see how it moves to live. Yeah, because it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked especially for them because their album literally came out like days before the whole lockdown in America, and they had their whole like album release touring schedule.
So did you watch the album release live stream that they've done?
I've watched like highlights of it, and it looked insane. The production looked insane.
It was really, really good. Like the production value on it was outstanding.
Yeah.
I was Stuart, and I want to see how it moves into live aspects.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's so much stuff going on in that music now. That there's no way they're gonna be able to do half of that stuff live, whether they want to or not.
Yeah.
I know they've got that kind of DJ boy with them. So I don't know how much of that he's playing live, but it'll be interesting.
It will be for sure. And they're like, when you take out all the production and the electronics, they're at the end of the day they're a fucking great hardcore band.
Yeah,
like,
spot on.
So
I mean, two-step on a Code
yeah,
Orange.
for sure. Like, so I can't help but love it from that point of view, you know. But really cool, and I love their aesthetic and the whole theme they go for.
Yeah.
Like that, like you see the pictures of them when they were at the Grammys. Was it they're on their previous release, and
Mhm.
everyone memes on them saying they're like extras from the Matrix. But I fucking love it, man. I love that they're just like, fuck it, we're gonna wear trench coats to the Grammys and dye our hair
They just-
blue.
they give zero fucks.
They get, yeah,
They
exactly.
genuinely do not care.
It's fucking and I love that. Like, and you can
Yeah.
hear that in the music that they just don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
which is very cool. Yeah, excited to see them live again because I have seen them before with you. I
Yeah,
think.
we saw them with when the Gujira took them out on tour.
Yeah, Gojira took them out on tour. That was right. That was a fucking amazing gig.
It was good, wasn't it?
So, fucking good shit.
Number 3, man.
My number 3. Let's have a look. My number 3 is your number 17.
Holy shit!
So that's
Finally getting to Loathe, are we?
Loathe. I let it in and it took everything.
Whoa.
This is
Wow.
what I was. This is the album. This is one of the albums when I said, Lamb of God aren't higher on my list because these albums came out of left field. This album blew me the fuck away, and it came out right at the start of the year, or not right at the start. But that's the thing, right? Everyone's gonna say, oh, they like Deftones, but I mean that's kind of doing them a disservice, right? Because
Oh, it is definitely.
they aren't just like a Deftones clone at all. Because
No, they're not.
you listen to their album, like sure you listen to the single, like the single's like called Two Way Mirror, I think. Let me pull up the album, Loathe. So yeah, the single's called Two Way Mirror. That song is extremely influenced by it's obvious that it's Deftones influenced, but that's one song, that's one song on an album that has 14 tracks, so the album has, well, the album as a whole is a lot heavier than Two Way Mirror. Two Way Mirror is kind of it's a weird one to recommend to people that haven't heard Loathe, because they're going to be expecting this maybe more Deftonesy kind of vibe, but then
Yeah.
the album's
Yeah.
way heavier. Like,
The album's
yeah.
heavy.
And when you listen to their previous stuff, like the Cold Sun, when I first found Loathe, I didn't find them on their first album, Prepare, Consume, Proceed, which was back in 2016. I found them on the.
I thought the Cold Sun was their first album.
Nah, so the Cold Sun was the second one, Sophomore. So
okay.
that album was amazing. I loved that. I listened to that album like fucking so much back in the day.
I still got that one. It's
Yeah.
so good.
So then I let it in, and it took everything. Came out earlier this year, and it was just mind blowing, because I expected more of the Cold Sun, and you do get more of the Cold Sun, but you also get the Deftones vibe, and you also
So
get
much more.
yeah,
Sun, though.
you-
They've
yeah.
expanded their sound so much.
for sure, and it's fucking, I love it, man. I love it. Fucking yeah. Stuart's saying Two Way Mirror, very Deftones. Rest of the album, not so much. Yeah, exactly. Closer to Dillinger. He's saying, yeah, I can hear Dillinger in there. It's way more frantic, and
Wait, what? No, this isn't more frantic than Dillinger. What are you talking about?
no, the rest of the album to.
Oh, right, okay. Oh,
To-
yeah. Okay, the rest
the
of the
re-
album's more frantic.
Yeah, the rest of the album's
Thought
more
you were
frantic,
right.
than Two Way Mirror. Yeah, so, but I love it, man. I really love it, and when you think about like how young this band is, like this is their third album, like this is insane. Like
Yeah.
how listen to how much genres they're blending, how much rhythm they've got going on, the production value, and they've not
These
even
guys, they're the one to watch.
they're yeah, and
Watch
they've
the space.
for sure, and they've not even really hit America yet, which is crazy. Like America is just waking up to Loathe, and that's crazy to me. Like,
It's a shame that they put this out and then the whole pandemic's happened.
right, for
Um,
sure.
Such a shame.
Yeah,
I hope
for
they
sure.
don't lose momentum, but
Yeah, I really hope so.
yeah,
they
fantastic album.
yeah, for sure.
honestly.
They deserve to be huge. Like off the back of that album, insane. So those who don't know Loathe, definitely give Two Way Mirror a go. That's going to be, a softer sound to get you going. It's more Deftones influenced. Really cool. When I say Deftones influenced, it's like one of Deftones' more dreamy, shoegaze sort of type of songs, like maybe Sex Tape from Diamond Eyes, that kind of vibe. When I say Deftones, but the rest of the album is heavier. It's got screaming. It's got more production. It's a little bit industrial kind of vibe to it, and almost in parts a kind of progressive metal vibe as well. But another one to listen to is Gourd, but Gourd is a lot heavier. But those two tracks are fucking ace. The whole album's great. So that's my number 3, Loathe. I let it in and it took everything. So on to the top 2.
Ooh.
So your number 2, Ian, the one that
My
didn't
number
quite
2.
make it.
My number 2. It's a band that you don't like, Glenn.
A band I don't like.
No, you don't like them. It's Enter Shikari. Nothing is true and everything is possible.
Right, Enter Shikari. Of course, I should have known. I should have known. Now, I just want to correct the record there, mate. I don't I don't actively dislike Enter Shikari.
Well, most people seem to.
I'm just I don't actively dislike Enter Shikari. I just don't like click with it. Like it's like I can listen to it and I can be like, yeah, but it doesn't like get me to that next level of being like, yeah, I'm fucking stoked about this right now. I listened to this one. I actually listened to this one when it came out, this release, and I thought it was alright.
Thought it was alright?
Yeah, it was alright. And like it doesn't blow me away. But see, if you were to have spoken to like 14-year-old Glenn, he would have told you that Enter Shikari are fucking amazing, because because I was a proper Enter Shikari fanboy back in the day when Take to the Skies was a thing.
Take to the Skies, yeah.
Take to the Skies.
The Zone.
Yeah. Take to the Skies was just amazing. Like my tune to like, go to crash popular kids parties and drink, do some underage drinking back in the day, back in the Stony Young Team days, mate. It was the Mothership that we used to listen to, and it bridged the gap between that sort of like almost kind of, we used to call it Ned beats back in the day, with like alternative music.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sorry You're Not a Winner is always a tune, but since then I've never really got it. I've never really been big in it.
2020 Shikari and 2007, 6.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Shikari are totally different. Totally
Yeah.
different kettle of fish.
For sure.
Their sound has evolved so much over the years. So this album's their 6th album, and it follows up The Spark from 2017. Did you hear The Spark? The last one they put out?
Well, I think I did, because we saw them live in Aberdeen with Black Peaks.
Ah, right, okay. So you're gonna have heard some stuff off The Spark.
And let me say as
Spark
well,
is
like
really, really, really poppy.
they were really good live, like really.
Yeah.
They blew
They're
me
always glad.
They blew me away, kind of live at Aberdeen in the it's the Beach Ballroom, was it? Beach Ballroom. Yeah,
They're good fun.
yeah, they blew me away, and as I was saying, I'm not massive into Shikari, and yeah, so
Well, anyway, basically what I'm saying is The Spark, as much as I like it, is really not their best album.
right, okay,
It's very poppy. It's very straightforward.
right,
Ain't much going on in it. You compare to their previous album, The Minesweep,
yeah,
and it is just like a head fuck. There's so much going on. On the tour for the Minesweep, they had like 3D audio, so they had speakers set up all around arenas, and like they were just swirling the sound round everybody's head and shit like that.
right,
Really, really cool stuff. So for me, this one is definitely a return to form for Enter Shikari.
Sound.
Uh, if you if you asked me back in April if this would be in my top albums of the year, I would have probably went no.
Right.
Um,
It's growing on you. It's a grower then.
it's grown on me a lot.
I mean, I always.
The songs are just so well written.
Yeah, I mean, I always appreciate the fact that they do blend that almost dance pop vibe.
Yeah, there's a lot of synths in this album.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, there's no other. There's
And
there's
they've
something
still
you
got their
can.
little bit of a wob wob from
Yeah,
time to time in
You can-
Shikari.
you're
and
always
they-
gonna say Enter
Just
Shikari
to
are
whip out
unique.
that.
Definitely
yeah,
unique.
Still whip out breakdowns every now and again. But for the likes of this album, like there's a song here that is just a straight up classical song. Like you could bung it in Jurassic Park and it wouldn't sound out of place. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Elegy for Extinction.
Hmm.
And it's a beautiful song. It's all strings, violins,
Hmm.
really cool.
Yeah.
And they've just thrown that in the middle of the album.
Yeah, for sure.
The King's a great song. Marionettes 1 and 2 is phenomenal. Apocalypse Anonymous, Modern Living is also really good.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, really cool album, and pretty different from everything else on my list. It's by far the most probably easy to listen to thing on there, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
But
And it's
it's interesting. It's interesting sound and a return to form,
yeah.
in my opinion. That's why they got so high up.
Like I totally get it why people rate them and why people have them, hold them in high regard and have them high on their lists, and it makes sense. The production, you can hear it even if you're not a fan. You can hear the production's good, and you can hear like everyone has come to work. You can hear like the instruments are good. There's good songwriting. They have their own thing, their own style. When you hear them, you're like, oh, of course that's Enter Shikari. Unmistakable. They're
Yeah,
it's just they've just never been the they've just never been my go-to, I guess. But like definitely good live, and I knew you were going to have them. I thought they were going to maybe be your number one, but obviously we know you're number one now. But before that, I'll go for my number two. Right, my number two.
Sitting on number 2, mate.
Huh?
What you got?
My number two. My number two is your number. Your number 12.
I thought it was.
So yes, my number two is All Them Witches, Nothing as the Ideal, and holy shit! Again, as I was saying with Lamb of God, it would have been number two if this and Loathe hadn't come out. But this album fucking came out of left field, blew me away. It might have even been Stuart's in the chat there, like, because I know he's a massive All Them Witches fan as well, and it might have even been Stuart. Honestly, because I mean, Stuart and me, we send each other music on Instagram, and Stuart was he was hyping me up for this release, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh fuck, this is now my jam. I had it on repeat. For like fucking, it must have been over a month that I was
I
just.
remember you saying to me that you just couldn't stop listening to this.
I couldn't stop it. It was literally all I was listening to. It was all encompassing, and it's just fucking ace. Like
Yeah.
all the songs,
Ridiculous.
every single song. And if you ask me like what's my like least favorite genre, I would say like country. Like I don't go in for like country music too much.
Mhm.
There's a country track on this fucking album that I fucking love. Track 5, the Children of Coyote Women. It's great. I love it, and it's a country song, and it's like, yeah, it's funny to me. But this album has some songs in it that are fucking literally going to be songs I take forward for like years. I think like
Yeah.
they similarly to how I hold Tool songs so like high up there in the pantheon of songs, like The Pot by Tool, right? That song is just like perfect for when you want to bliss out. Like this album has the answer to Tool's The Pot, and that song is See You Next Fall.
Yep.
See You Next Fall is just
That's
it's an instant classic.
Yeah, so that's
Um,
my favorite track off the album.
instant
without a doubt.
yeah, for sure. And they like the first two tracks are great, just full of riffs. And 41 is amazing. 41 is really fucking good, riff
Yeah,
central.
yeah,
Um, and it's an album that blends a lot of different sounds and different tones. Like it has its quieter sections and the different vibes. Or you could listen to this to get fucking pumped up and go to the gym, or you could some of the songs then you could listen to it to bliss out. Like it's fucking great. Production's stellar. The instruments are great. Like I love the guitar tone. The guitar tone on this record, possibly my favorite guitar tone of the year. Probably is. Fuck it, let's say it. Favorite guitar sound of the year is on this record. Fucking ace. Can't say enough good things about it. Really want to see them live. They're not a band that I've seen live. I don't think.
I saw them live last year.
Did we? Did I?
No, I did. You didn't. You weren't there. They
What?
supported Ghost.
Right.
The
Of
Hydro.
course. Yes.
Me and Andreas and Cam saw them.
yeah.
What a show that was, man. They
See,
were
I've
really, really good.
I've never seen them live, so they're up there on my like 2C list. Glasgow
Oh, yeah.
next year. Yeah, Stuart's saying Glasgow next year. Fingers crossed that still goes ahead. But yeah, me and Stuart have got tickets. You should grab a ticket, man.
I didn't even realize they're playing Glasgow next year. I'll get a ticket for that.
I
Definitely.
think I can't remember
Definitely.
I think it's one of the summer months next year. So
I'll be there. But,
fingers crossed. But fuck yeah, man. Like, just can't say enough good things about this album. And this album would have been number one for me if a certain band hadn't released their fucking album this year. So that's saying a lot. Like, yeah. So that's All Them Witches. Yeah, so you're number one, mate. And on to number ones, mate.
my number one's Biffy Clyro.
Of
Celebration
course.
of Endings.
Of course. I had it at number 5, man, and I totally get why it can be number one. It fucking ace.
It's Biffy Clyro, isn't it?
It's Biffy Clyro, but it's Biffy Clyro at the best I've heard Biffy since potentially Puzzles.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. This is my favorite Biffy album since Puzzle.
It's possibly. I mean, I really liked. Whatchamacallit?
You quite liked it. It was Opposites was the one you liked.
No, it's the one
Or
where
was
it's
it
like the
Only Revolutions.
Only Revolution. Is that the one with the flags, like the
Yeah.
big coloured like flags? Yeah, that album is really really good, and I think that's the album that I really properly got into Biffy on. Yeah, Revolution. Only Revolutions. Yeah, but so that's the album I got into Biffy on, but then obviously I went back and found Puzzle, and Puzzle is. Yeah, Puzzle's probably my favourite Biffy Clyro album.
This was the one in it.
And but this album is probably definitely up there with Only Revolutions for me, and possibly eclipses that. Honestly,
Yeah, in my opinion, this album beats Only Revolutions.
it's
I think
it's great.
the ballads are way better in this album than Only Revolutions. Maybe that's because I've just heard flipping Many a Horror a million times now. You know what I mean? But
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Space is such a good song.
Mm.
In terms of the ballads, the Champ is just phenomenal. Weird Leisure is great. 10 Indoor Fireworks is great. In fact, every song's just great, man. End
Yeah.
of, what a tune, man. The bass line and End of.
Yeah,
And when the album closes on Cop Syrup is fucking hell. What a song, man.
for sure.
To
Really
hear 50
fucking
dudes
good.
screaming again, it's just like, yes.
Yeah,
Where's this been for the last
I know,
15
right?
years?
Cop Syrup. Cop Syrup is one that I've heard a lot of people saying is their favourite just because it's reminding them of old Biffy. Yeah,
Yeah. It's my favourite track on the album.
yeah. I
That and
get.
End of, I think, are my two favourite tracks. But yeah, the whole album's fantastic. I can't put it down. I've been listening at least 2-3 times a week to this since it came out.
Yeah, for sure. And I
if not more.
I
It's just It's so good.
It made it on my like Spotify rap, which I was surprised about. But then, well, I was surprised initially. I was like, oh, Biffy Clyro, and then I was like, remembering like when this album when it came out, I had it on repeat, and it was one of those things that I could just have on in the living room and like be making dinner and fuck it, it's just a like oh it's just ace, it's ace, and I'm excited to see it live, like hear it live.
I'm so stoked to hear this live.
Yeah, for sure. And
Definitely.
I'm trying to pick out a song that I really fucking loved. Let's see, Biffy Clyro. I really loved the track "End Of."
Yeah.
I remember "End
Yeah,
Of"
it's
being
so
really
good.
fucking good. But and then ending with "Cop Syrup" was it's just genius. It's just fucking good.
It's got all the strings in it. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's so good.
Really
Such a
fucking
weird
good.
strong structure, but it just works.
Yeah.
Standard
yeah.
Biffy Clyro, you know?
And the artwork as well. Again, it's another one of those artworks where I could fucking have that on my wall. I could have fucking a tour.
What's pixelated out?
What do you mean?
Well, on the album cover.
What do you mean? What's pixelated
It's-
out?
Some is pixelated out there, man.
Is it not supposed to be?
I don't know.
That's how it shows on Spotify.
Yeah, I know, but what have they pixelated out? That's what I want to know.
Oh, right. I don't know. Is it something rude or something? I don't know.
It could be. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
what I thought you might know.
I've got no idea, mate. But I just love that random paint stroke across the guy's eyes. I can't explain why I like it. It's fucking looks cool. Yeah, fucking ace, Biffy Clyro. You're number one, mate. And it's of no surprise to anyone that my number one is, of course, the mighty Deftones. Deftones are, like I said earlier, my favourite band alongside Lamb of God, and they have put out the best album since Diamond Eyes for sure, and arguably since White Pony, my favourite album of all time. So, yeah, it's just insane. Like, where to even begin talking about this album? They've it's an absolute return to form. That's not even fair to say, because Deftones haven't not been on form ever. You know, they've always been on form. I've loved all their albums, but this new album, I would say, is more of a return to focused songwriting. They've come back to making fucking good Deftones songs, where in the last two albums they were exploring more soundscapes and textures and different instruments and feels, and it was less structured. And I fucking love Gore and Koi no Yokan for that.
Yeah.
But this is definitely coming back to the Diamond Eyes style of the songwriting, and you've got more prominence from Stefan Carpenter's heavy downtuned guitars. That's coming way back into the fold, which I fucking love. Chino is as flawless as ever with his vocals, always flawless, and it's just a 10 out of 10 Deftones album in 2020. And I can see Stuart in the chat there saying, every time he listens, his favourite song changes, and that is very, very similar to my experience with the album. I loved the two singles that they brought out. The two singles were great. I think I prefer Genesis to Ohms, but Ohms was still fucking amazing.
I love Ohms. I love it.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Headless, Stuart saying, is maybe his favourite. Headless is such a fucking sexy song, man. Headless is fucking... It's just a fucking good time. A feel good, like, vibe throughout that song, and it just makes you want to, like do a little shimmy, like do a little dance. Like, it's almost got like a... It's almost got like an R&B kind of flavour, kind of rhythm to it. You can tell that Deftones, like the rhythm section in Deftones, you can tell they listen to a lot of R&B. in hip hop, like especially the drummer. Like you can hear the drums like aren't metal. They're not metal drums, you know. It's just fucking great. I love all the songs. The Spell of Mathematics is just
Oh, that is such a good track, man.
that is a fucking that track is insane. That is amazing, and it's just Deftones, man. It's fucking Deftones. Like what? It's brilliant. You can listen to it any mood that you're in. You can listen to this album. You know you're happy, you're sad, you're angry, you're want to get pumped up, you're not feeling motivated. It's fucking great. And every time I put this album on, I'm like, fuck yes.
Where does this sit for you in terms of other Deftones albums?
Right. So
I'm interested to hear this.
right, that's so hot. Like White Pony's still my top. White Pony's my favorite album of all time. Right.
White Pony's the best.
White Pony's top. White Pony is still
Can't
their.
change that.
It's
That
still
will always be
their.
the best.
It's still their like magnum opus, right? It's still their. It's still their thing. It's still their best body of work. I don't know about rating all of the Deftones albums right now. That's like putting me on the spot, but I would put this at the very least. So at the very least, right? This is on par with Diamond Eyes, and it might surpass Diamond Eyes. If going forward into the next few years, and upon more listens, and Diamond Eyes is up there in at least the top half of the Deftones albums for me.
Okay.
Stuart's saying
Well,
it
for
sits in
me-
the middle for him.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I was gonna say it's definitely above Adrenaline. It's definitely above the self-titled Deftones. It's definitely above Saturday Night Wrists.
Yeah,
It's probably above Kone Yokan for me. I don't know if it beats anything else though.
yeah.
Don't know if it gets past Gore, Diamond Eyes,
I
like Pony Around the Fur. I don't think it's beating any of them. Not quite
See-
yet, anyway.
for me, it beats. I would probably rank higher than Gore and Koyunokan. Yeah, probably higher than those. For sure. At least on par with Diamond Eyes. Again, Diamond Eyes. Diamond Eyes is the first Deftones album I really like fell in love with, because when I was younger, and you were listening to like Linkin Park and stuff coming up, and you were like 13 or 14, I always heard like Deftones songs from like White Pony and stuff. You would hear Back to School. It was always on like Scuzz and was it Kerrang? Scuzz,
Yeah.
definitely Scuzz. It was always on like the channel that you'd have on, at parties, and Change would come on, and I'd be like, Change's sound, and Passenger, and you'd hear like the older ones like My Own Summer, and you'd hear like my favorite song of all time, Be Quiet and Drive, and even Seven Words. You'd hear the older ones, and I'd be like, yeah, Deftones are sound, but I'd never really taken the jump until fucking Diamond Eyes. So Diamond Eyes is got a special place on my list. So, but this is
Diamond
like,
Eyes was a return to form.
yeah, it was their return. Yeah, exactly.
Because I really don't rate Saturday Night Wrist or the self-titled albums very much, to be honest.
I love Saturday Night Wrist and the self-titled, but they were definitely not as
There's some good songs on them, but they're no. I wouldn't
yeah.
say they're good albums
um
personally.
but I'd probably have White Pony number 1, then I'd probably have Around the Fur, White Pony, Around the Fur, then maybe Diamond Eyes, then maybe the new one. But like that's ask me tomorrow, and that could be fucking totally different. So so yeah, it's just a masterful album, and I'd be amiss if I didn't talk about the production as well. Like the production
It's so good.
is so good. Terry Date, is it? He's back, and I see all the memes like Terry, or not memes, but like you see the comments on like YouTube, and they're like, never let Terry Date leave the Deftones production table again. Because you know, he did a lot of the early ones, right? He did Adrenaline, and he did Around the Fur, and he did White Pony. So he did the first three. He also did their self-titled, but I don't think he's done anything since their self-titled until Ohms. So
Okay.
so having him come back has been great for the production, and he seems to be someone who just gets what Deftones are trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider that a lot of Deftones sound is in the production and in the ambience and other added little flares and sections, and
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's just brilliant, and I can't wait to see it fucking live whenever that's going to be. I have no idea, but yeah, fucking ace. Deftones. Fuck, we made it, man. Anyone still?
3.5 hours.
It's been 3.5 hours. We knew it was going to be a long one. Be a long one. So if anyone's still in the chat, I can see there's 7 viewers. Cheers, Stuart saying amazing list, guys. Thanks, Stuart. Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
buddy.
Let us know in chat if you had what was your if you have a list or a top 3 or
So anything we missed?
anything we missed. Yeah, any sort of comments like that would be fucking sound. I got a few albums there to check out. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. That's why I like doing these lists. I've been doing these lists, I think, 2016. So like 4 years ago, I started doing this.
It's always good fun doing a top 20.
Yeah, I had never really done them until like 2016, and then I got fucking mad into it. And then this year I was like, fuck it, why don't we do a fucking live stream, and then we could put that out and just, you know, see if anyone's watches. And I don't know, it's just a cool kind of way to discover new music. And yeah, I love checking out other people's top 20 lists, because you get flooded with all this new music, and there's nothing better than having like new music that you didn't know existed, and you just jump in, and that's like the best. That's like the best way to find a new band, right? Is when you find like an album you never knew existed, and you're like, wait, hold on, this is a band I've never heard of, and they have all these albums. Fuck. And then you go down the rabbit hole, and it's fucking is ace. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out those hardcore bands you've put in your list there.
yeah. And yeah, I'm hyped to check out everyone else's lists, and there's fucking half of your top 20 I need to check out as well. So like I definitely said, because earlier I was like, I need to, you know, like mine's is going to be more predictable than yours, and definitely looking at it, yeah, for sure. Like you've got some.
I mean, I don't even have Lamb of God in mine.
Yeah.
I don't have Cirrhosis in mine.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Yeah.
I don't have Valtak. I don't have Elder.
Yeah, for sure. Stuart saying I think the new Bleed From with not Bleed From then Bring Me the Horizon might be in this top 20. Yeah, that was Bring Me the Horizon was really good. I really liked it. That was actually when I was working through my mock list. That was up there. That was in the sort of group of albums that I was gonna take to be top 20, but it didn't quite make it. Fucking loved that though. We were talking about that at the start because Mick Gordon produced one of the songs, who did the Doom soundtrack. But yeah, it's funny hearing.
Yeah, it's good to see them going back to more guitar based sound.
Yeah, Dear Diary was ace. It was a straight up fucking badass metal song.
Yeah. Like Ammo and the previous.
Yeah,
EP.
I didn't rate Ammo. I mean, I've never been a massive Bring Me fan like at any point, but you know, this new stuff was really fucking good. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, that's our top 20, mate. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope next year's is good.
Yeah, this has been a fucking phenomenal year for music.
I'm really hoping next year's good. I think a lot of bands will have taken some time over the last few months to to
Yeah.
dish out some music, so record
Yeah.
some music, etc. So
Well,
hope the next year is going to be strong, even if we don't get too many gigs. But
for sure. I'm
wait
so
to see what happens.
so stoked for Bosk, man. Bosk are releasing
Oh.
next year.
Oh,
So that's a shout out Bosk if anyone
so
doesn't
we all
know
know
who
what Glenn's
Bosk are.
number one's going to be next year already.
Well,
Calling it now.
I don't know, but it's gonna if it's good, it could be fucking very high. But Bosk, yes, I'm so stoked for Bosk. But I just stoked to get back to gigs, man. I've been sorely missing gigs.
Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat with that one.
For sure. Okay, well, we should probably end this then. So, thoughts on putting this on YouTube? We could maybe put it on. Well, I'll see about putting it on YouTube, and obviously we can.
Upload a 3-hour, 35-minute video to YouTube. Be my guest, but that's
Yeah.
gonna take forever, man.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it saves. I mean, at the very least, I'll download the video so I can have it, and we can do what we want with it.
Is it not saving your Twitch VODs?
It does, but only saves for like 15 days or something, 14 days.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck yeah. Thanks to everyone who checked us out. It currently says there's 6 folk watching, so that's kind of cool. We thought there'd be no one, so the fact that there's 6 people is better than no people. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, Ian, mate, for doing this. That was
My
fucking-
pleasure.
That was
That
fun.
was good fun. I enjoyed that.
Right, well, we'll fucking call it a day there then. I'll end the stream. Bye bye.